Hey guys, welcome to episode 300 of 4PlayerAnimecast. I am your host, Spire, and we are just about to head into our summer 2026 reviews. Obviously, again, this first episode is going to be focused on more first impressions than anything else because everything, I think most series have come up, but it's just the episode ones. I don't know if there have been any episode twos. I don't think so, though, because it's only been like
There's
almost
a handful
exactly
of them.
1 week. Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, that have like literally just come out like today or maybe yesterday, right?
Yeah.
With their episode twos. But most of them are in their episode ones. So this is, again, as usual, this early on in the season, it's going to be a little bit more of our first impressions than anything else. But as usual, with me are my compatriots, Near,
So,
Toast,
What?
Dark,
Hello.
and without further ado, let's get into our 2 weeks or past couple of weeks. So, what have you been up to, Near?
the new season of Rivals came out. Marvel Rivals.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So that's been fun. Yeah, it's kind of like a chaotic clusterfuck because they've added, or they re-added, basically every team up, to the game, and they reworked it so now when you pick your hero, you kind of just like pick a team up, to have as like a secondary ability, and then like if the actual hero that the team up like aligns with is on your team, then the team up gets like buffed even further. So it's kind of just like a chaotic clusterfuck right now, but it's fun. Reminds me a lot of like season 0, season 1 type rivals. So that's been fun. Other than that, not too much, to be honest. Just kind of chilling. Got your shit. I'm kind of like, I keep booting up Zenless and being like, today's the day I'm gonna catch up, and then I do my dailies and then I close the
You
game.
should, dude, because like it's a real 3.0 is really good.
Yeah, I've heard, but it's just like every time I open the game and I see Yishun Gong, I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I close it.
You don't have to.
So
You can just skip it.
that's true, but I don't know. But yeah, um, yeah. And then I've mostly just been chilling, playing mahjong,
Yeah.
the usual.
All right. Well, pretty quiet then. Again, I'm not sure if this the rest of the podcast with what we have in line will be as quiet, but again, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Near, for your couple of weeks. Toast, 2 weeks, please.
I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Well, give me what's the dates of these 2 weeks?
The like
Oh.
last 3 days of June to now.
Lots of flooding and thunderstorms. That was fun. I don't know. Cool weather.
Yeah, I managed to avoid that by like a couple miles away from me. So
Oh,
Yeah, I
nice.
somehow managed to avoid that shit too.
Same.
It hit like
Same. There's a bunch of
western
tornadoes.
towards the city. So
That was like a few miles, like north, east of me. I think they're
nice.
north. Nice. So like yeah, there was a bunch of tornadoes in Chicago, and I got a safe zone, so that was fun. What else? Near how much was your tooth extraction again, or whatever?
$0.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want to know how much it is for a tooth? I asked. You know how much it is for a tooth for a what is it? A dental implant without insurance?
It
I
depends
got
on the
it.
type of
$1,500 a tooth, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends on the
You're funny.
material you use,
You're
but it's
funny,
usually
Dark.
around
No,
2K.
this is just the
Well,
first part. The dental implant is the type. Is it the titanium they put inside your jaw?
Yeah.
I got mine cut down a pretty penny, but I asked how much it is without insurance. You want to guess how much it was? This is just part one before they put on the actual crown.
I mean, considering I would assume, considering it's like usually just covered by insurance anyway, they probably jack up the price, right? So it's probably like 5
Yeah.
grand.
Wow, you're pretty close there.
Yeah. What'd they say?
It's $3,000,
That's crazy,
Right.
actually.
and then
Yeah.
they'll give you a 10% discount if you pay cash, and I'm like, wow, that sucks.
Actually, I should have assumed
Wow.
that because I saw a thing where it was like people getting veneers, and it's like there was this whole
Yeah,
thing
that's
where it was
just
literally
crazy, man.
cheaper. It was literally cheaper to take a vacation in China for like a couple weeks and get veneers in China than it is to get one veneer in the U.S.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's
Pretty.
fun. Now I'm back to my diet of blended soup and Jello for 1 to 2
Mhm.
weeks.
That shit was sucked, man.
Jeez. Yeah.
I'm
Very
hungry.
unfortunate.
Oh, I also went to Kinokuniya again. That's cool. You know what I saw?
What?
I posted it, right? You saw I posted the horses. Yeah, I saw a new horse gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
I only got 4 because my aim was Gold City or bust, and I got Gold City. So I'm like, okay, good. So I got them sitting in front of me. They're cool. No one. Why does no one like Yaina Muteki near? I like Yaina Muteki.
No
I feel
idea.
like Yaino Muteki. I feel like Yaino Muteki would have been more popular in a world where maybe I
If
don't know.
only you weren't
It's
born
just
in this generation, Spire, because don't that's what her grandfather said to her. Spoilers.
I think there are too many like kind of how do I say this like tomboyish girl crush characters, like there are already a bunch of them
But
in Uma Musume anyways, and it's like
Fujiki Seki's right there, Spire. You can't say that.
yeah, Fujikiseki, but also stuff like Shakur, Air Shakur, stuff like that.
No, who
Even
who likes Air Shakur? Dark, do you like Air Shakur?
Yeah,
Shakur is
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're like the only person I know who likes Air Shakur.
it
Shakur.
pisses me
No,
off. There's well,
Air
first of
Groove
all,
is
there
there
are a
too.
decent amount of people who do like Air Shakur.
I like Oshikar. I think she was in my top 10 when I did the ranking.
I don't believe you, Nier.
She was in mine
I don't
too.
believe you when Sakura Shiono is right there.
I mean, you can
And
check
But
it.
yeah,
Yaina
But
there's
Mutaki's right there.
but yeah,
But yeah,
there's a bunch of like other kind of similar types. I guess is what I was saying.
apparently Suntory Nachan's pretty popular over at Kinokuniya. Or Mitsuwa Market, as it's near it's like the only good Chicagoland area where it sells Japanese stuff. Yeah, because I went there early after my dental appointment. They were stocking the Suntory Nachans, Suntory Nachan Orange. I got like 2, but then there were already people mass buying them. So I was like, damn, glad I got here early. Did you know my favorites are Suntory Nachan Orange and CC Lemon? The power of 3,000 lemons in one container near.
wow.
Yeah, I don't know what else. Don't ask how much I spent on other stuff. Oh yeah, July. I don't know.
Yeah, any happenings in the VTuber world?
Oh yeah, Narissa hates Chicago.
Nice.
Damn.
Let me post it. Where is it? She's scared of Chicago. She hates it. Damn, I guess we'll never get a concert here. Here, I'll post it. I believed in you, Narissa. You betrayed me there. Apparently, she gets catcalled in Chicago. I'm like, oh, I've never gotten catcalled in Chicago. And they not in New York or L.A. Apparently. Dark, do you get catcalled in New York?
No, no, I can't
My
say
God,
that's ever happened to me.
Same.
I don't know. I mean, Chicago's okay if you know where to go, but you can say that for any major city, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
More or less.
But she's from the Midwest. She should know. How dare you? I'm knocking her down I'm knocking her down a ranking from my VTuber rankings now. How dare you?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Also, speaking of Arisa, she's set to voice act in the next Tenchi Muyo uh, Kickstarter. That I guess that's the major thing
Yeah.
I'll bring up. So yeah,
Wasn't the last Tenshinmuyo thing was Kickstarted too, right?
it was I believe it was just to release the manga in English
Oh,
by
right,
the
right,
same
right.
people, yeah. But this one is called Tenchi Universe in America, and it's a direct sequel to, or no, was it? What was it? Not Tenchi Universe. Is it Tenchi Universe?
I think it was right.
Tenchi, no, it's Tenchi Galaxy,
Oh,
and it's a
okay.
sequel to Tenchi Universe, which everyone knows is the best Tenchi adaptation.
Uh-huh.
Tenchi Universe being the one where they do space pirate stuff and travel all over the planet. They're not stuck on Earth. AKA the best one because it was focused on Ryoko. And this one's the Kickstarter's for like the English version, apparently, because I guess they want to kickstart Tenchi Muyo in the West first before they get the Japanese actors on. They have the original director on, so it's pretty cool. Back it while you can. Kickstarter is Tenchi Galaxy the pilot. I backed it. I'm cool like that. So yeah, so I'm let me see how it's doing. Oh, it's already got the full pledge, but 57 days left to go. So yeah, pledge while you can. It ends September 7th, but it's already pledged, so we're getting it whether you like it or not, suckers. Yeah, Tenchi's cool. One of the OG, I guess Spire would call it rom-com animes back in the day for the Americas. Like I mentioned, oh, it went up when I was talking about it. If you guys remember anime back in the day with laser discs, that's how old Tenchi is. Yeah, this is OG Spire. Yeah. So yeah, back it if you can. What else? It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Uh oh, I'll find one more thing. A Serendipity concert. It's pretty good. Day two's better than day one because it has Crony in the free part finally. We never get Crony in the free part, so I didn't have to spend money. Haha, just kidding. No, I spent money watching it. Yeah, Serendipity's pretty good. Watch it. Day two's better than day one. I don't know what else. I got it. I mean, that's about it for me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast. What about you, Dark?
Not a whole lot. Just been keeping up with anime pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've really only just been keeping
Are
up
you
with
gonna
anime.
Are
I've
you
been
gonna go
doing
to
some gaming. I was
what's
doing.
this about the Legionnaires in New York?
Oh yeah, it's in the city. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's
Did you
nowhere
get
near me.
Legionnaires?
No, it's
Why not?
not by me. I am not.
For
I am
those who
not
don't
in the
know,
city.
if you don't know what Legionnaires is, you like pneumonia.
Yeah, it's like super pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. Not good stuff.
Also, what's Manhattan Henge? You gonna watch
Oh,
Manhattan Henge?
that's when I mean I see it like pretty frequently,
Nice.
yearly. Yeah, it's when it lines up the what do you call it with the like street. I forget what street it actually lines up with, but yeah, the sunset lines up like perfectly, which is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, I've been doing some gaming. I got bigger, like back into Warframe. Um,
Did you watch Koseki Bijo's what is it, Tenno exhibition? What's it called?
huh? The TennoCon
What's
thing?
TennoCon?
Did
Yeah,
she restream
TennoCon, that's
that?
it.
No, no. I mean, I just
Yeah,
watched that
she's
in
an
general
official
today.
partner now. TennoCon, Tenno Live.
Wow. Yeah, no, I just watched that today in general. That was really cool. Other than that, been playing some WoW. Neglecting like most other games other than like Zenless. Just because that runs better on my Steam Deck now, and after now fucking up my upper back for the last like week and a couple days, kind of
Nice.
been doing a little bit of that. I'm kind of just like trying to keep my posture okay and hope to God that this like pinch in my right shoulder blade and arm goes away. Oh, and I also watched Marty Supreme. That was really the only other big thing, and that was very good. That was a really really good movie. Criminally underrated in my opinion as well. Like I think more people should have been talking about that because that movie's fucking insane. It's very up there I think with like Mickey 17 to me with the you know, when you first see the movie and it's like, yeah, that's not really what the movie is at all. Like movie's completely different than what you probably think it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dark.
You
I
know
haven't
what's
been.
cool though? Oh, sorry. You know what? You can go first. I'll say it later.
When
How's Korea Spire? You gonna go to
Has Korea fallen yet?
Yeah, Korea's already dead. It's done.
I heard
As
that
of
what is it? The Koreans hate the Japanese baseball. Hate Japanese
bas-
baseball now.
I'm not sure what that's about, but whatever. It's been very, very,
What was
very
the
well,
what's
not
that
too
one
hot.
anime I did with the Japanese baseball? The girl.
The baseball girl, the beer girl one.
Yeah. What's it called?
See me at the
See you
ballpark
at the
or
ball
something
game?
like that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
heard the
yeah.
South Koreans hate that. They hate the Japanese beer girls
Yeah,
because it
they
shows
hate
them in a
all of the
short skirt.
Japanese anime. Yeah, they hate all the Japanese anime, and also South Korea is already dead. So
Not that far. They hate how they're sexualizing the beer girls in the Japan over there and with
Yeah,
their short skirts. And I'm like,
if there's one thing Koreans hate, it's sexualization of women
yeah, see,
for
Mir gets
sure.
it. Mir
yeah.
gets it.
But yeah, there's been a lot of rain, and a lot of essentially every day has been either all at least half day or all day rain, or it's been just like super hot outside, and there's no in between. There's zero in between days. So it's been I guess
How did
classic
Korea do at
summer.
the World Cup, Spire?
Very badly because of all the corruption. But you know, it's the World Cup. All corruption comes hand in hand,
Yeah.
and especially in Korea. But I haven't been really watching it. I've been watching like the fallout from it, like the news and stuff like that. But I haven't been actually watching the World Cup much. Um, Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Been doing just like real life stuff, running around. I visited a pop up store 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. Um, and that was in yeah, I visited a pop up store in Seoul a couple of days ago, and that was nice. Although I hate the fact that it feels kind of weird to say, but I almost prefer to just like wait in a line and kind of get a discrete sense uh, of like what's kind of going on at the store rather than like because in Korea, instead of necessarily everybody waiting in line, a lot of places have this app that allow or series of apps that allow you to just like reserve your place in like a virtual line, right? And then the when your turn is near, you just come back to the place and you just get in. And that's like neat, but also in a sense, like if you don't know how long it's going to take, you're kind of just bound to that general area anyways.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really change too much. So you're constantly just wandering around the area being like, there's not that much to do here. But then you're also like, I still have to stay here because if it's my turn, I have to run back. Um, so it was a little bit weird, but I pretty much made it through. It was nice, and then I ate actually some ramen afterwards, which has been
Ramen
quite a
or
while.
ramyeon? Hold on, are you in Japan right now?
No, I ate it in
Is
Korea. There's
is it
been
ramen or ramyeon? Remember, they hate it when you do that.
yeah, that's true. Korea infamously
I
never
didn't know
imports
that.
Japanese stuff. Um, but it was I ate some Japanese ramen, which has been it's been like half a year actually since I did that, so it's been a while. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Watching some anime as they come out, and obviously playing all of my horse girls, all of the horse girls. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. But yeah.
Speaking of VTubers, I saw Debbie at the bookstore. I was like, that's neat. I never see Debbie at the bookstore. Also, I saw Roa. Yeah, not Yuzuki Roa, the jellyfish one. I was like, huh, that's neat. There's no Hollow
Okay.
Life stuff here, but we got Debbie and Roa. Why is that? That's about it.
I think that's probably just might just be interesting, just like random kind of pop-ups, but not pop-ups, but like random stuff that just like popped up in there. But that okay. So I guess that was pretty much it for my 2 weeks. And we're gonna be going through the first impressions pretty quick, I guess, starting off with Toast. What do you have for us?
I don't know.
Nothing much.
Huh? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me? All right.
Yeah.
What's
Sure
it
is.
called?
What's your
So
series?
remember
Called
back in the
Dankies.
day? Remember back in the day? Spire, can you believe that lots of people say Shokugeki no Soma is the epitome of cooking anime and nothing has appeared before it?
uh, that's an interesting way to view history, but okay.
Yes, no other cooking manga or anime has appeared before November 2012.
That's true.
It's like they've never seen this. They've never. It's like cooking manga has never been popular before Shokugeki no Soma.
Yeah.
Spire, I mean, it's not like we had Yakitaki. I mean, if you want to count it, it's not like we had Yakitaki Japan back in the day. Remember that Spire? Yakitaki Japan?
Yes, I remember that series.
And I guess Addicted to Curry. Is that something that's called? Something like that? Nobunaga no
I
Chef,
think yeah.
that's also something that's back in the day. Whatever. Wait,
Okay,
no,
so what's
wait,
your
hold on.
series, Toast?
Oh wait, that's the wrong series. You guys like sports anime?
I was gonna say.
I sure do.
Shit.
All right, Toast, what's your series? Toast, come on, what's your series?
The sports anime.
Yeah. So, what was the most popular sport you can think of from back in the day in the good old year of 1995 or 1989?
Probably
I mean,
1989.
it's
basketball, probably.
1989.
either.
Oh wow.
I mean, it depends on where you are.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be like usually baseball or something like that?
No, wait. Was Michael Jordan playing baseball in 1989? I don't think so.
I mean, Michael Jordan is
I,
not the
my
only sports person to
well,
exist.
first of
So
all, Michael Jordan might have
I,
been playing baseball in 1989. I don't remember when Jordan played baseball, but he did.
Yeah.
I
He
don't.
did try to do that
When
at
yeah.
did
one
Space
point.
Jam? When did Space Jam come out?
It was like
1994.
That was the
94.
90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Space Jam was 1997.
No, I think it was 94. I think you were
96.
right.
96. Oh,
96.
close
I
enough.
don't
That's
know.
still that's still the
Yeah, it
golden
was
year.
still in the 90s sometime. Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't born back then, and I wasn't playing sports. I don't know. Well, that's right. You're all wrong. The most popular sport in Japan was
Well, you
baseball.
didn't specify that.
Oh,
So
but who
Okay,
cares
so
about baseball? I'm talking about the most popular sport in Japan, dodgeball.
uh-huh.
So back in 1989, there was a series called Dodge Dampe. His name, and he was the flaming rugby. Is that what they're translating it as? All right. So he's the flaming rugby boy, and he loves dodgeball. He
Hmm.
doesn't play regular dodgeball. He plays super dodgeball. And on
What's
the
the
first
difference?
day, of elementary school, when he goes to dodgeball school, he beats up his father's grave because he was the master of dodgeball.
As you do.
Yeah, yeah. But then some stuff happened, and he became the
and
dodgeball
I
king, king of the dodgeballs, I guess. Yeah.
wait, he finds a
He,
ball
he f-
inside his grandfather's gravestone,
As you do, yeah.
or like under, I guess,
As you do.
as you do. Yes.
What's wrong with finding a legendary dodgeball in the grave
Yeah, that's
of
true.
your
And he
grandfather?
assumes it's a gift, so he takes it.
Yeah. And
So this is
then
it.
whatever. And then some
Is this
stuff
like a
happened, and
Prince
then
of
he becomes
Tennis
a
kind of
legend.
thing?
He becomes the legend of dodgeball, and now I don't know. Is it 20 years? How many years later is this? Sometime later,
Like 30
and
years.
I guess yeah, you one year. That's good. 30 years. You're correct. 30 years later, his daughter Danko, get it? Because his father's named Danpei. Now she's named
Danpei,
Danko.
yes.
So he's dead, and now his daughter's like, "Hey, father, I'm gonna throw a dodgeball at your grave because look how big your grave is. You see how big his grave is? Because he's the dodgeball king or whatever. You can see across the entire town. And so she throws a dodgeball at him, and his force ghost is like, good job, Danko. You are now ready to go to dodgeball school or something like that. Because and whatnot. So she goes to dodgeball school. That's literally what happens in episode 1, I guess. Not much happens.
Right.
I don't know. Why did you guys?
So
I had to pick this one. I had to pick this one first because you guys stole my other series, so I don't have much to go on from episode 1. How dare you?
you should have
This is
let
like a
us know.
sequel
But
Be
series,
less
right?
So
of a
this is a
sports addict. I
30-year-old
don't know.
sequel to
yeah.
Dodgeball Danpei, featuring
So
his
I'm
daughter.
guessing it's gonna essentially take the same route or same
It's
kind of
literally
routes
almost the same route.
as Danpei.
Yeah,
Yeah. So have you read Danpei?
I've read not the
It-
original Danpei, but I've read Danko a long time ago.
okay. So
Long time ago,
is
in
it
the
kind of
good old
like
year of 2022.
is it kind of like a general tournament series, or is it like a
Uh,
episodic kind of like, oh, we're just doing dodgeball kind of stuff, or
It's a
what?
sports anime, plain and simple. You got you're part of the dodgeball school, and you gotta fight the other rival dodgeball schools. If I want to really sum it up, or like boil it down to its essence, you like Shield 21, I guess. Yeah, kind of
Uh-huh.
like that.
Okay, okay.
It's in the same vein as Shield 21, where you got the dodgeball school facing off against the other dodgeball schools. Good old
Hmm.
classic school rumble, school rumble. That's a different series.
Okay. And
Yeah.
most of the focus in the manga at least like is in the actual playing of the games, or is it in like the like, training, or like what is it? What's the focus kind of
I mean, it's a
in terms
sport.
of like screen
It's a
time?
battle shorts, battle shonen. I guess you want to call it shonen. Battle shonen anime. Of course, it is
Okay,
all about
okay.
training schools. So yeah, so it's I guess its most equivalent would be what do we call it? You guys like Kinnikuman? Yeah,
Sure.
its most equivalent would be the sequel manga, Kinnikuman Nisei, or Kinnikuman's second generation, or as we call it in the West a long time ago, Ultimate Muscle.
Does it have any supernatural elements? Is it like
Yes,
almost a Prince of Tennis kind of thing?
literally, he's a forced dodgeball ghost talking to his daughter, or maybe she's delusional.
Oh.
Who knows?
Maybe he's just
One or the
crazy.
other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean it's a sports anime. They all got hyper sports powers, and now it's about 11.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
call it that too. Yeah, and yeah, all that. There's a lot of it's not doing much. It's just an introduction to the main characters and whatnot in episode 1. So
Okay.
you got Danko, yeah, that's her. Then you've got her friend, what's her name again? Oh yeah, her friend's name's Chinko. Get it? Chinko, Kobotoke.
Mm.
Because that should immediately tell you what kind of era we're in. But it's okay. It's called Chinko, just like she's called Danko because her father was named Chinen, which is also that kind of joke. And she is a friend of Danpei, which is Danko's daughter. Get it? So they're both chimpo jokes. You get it? You
Yeah.
get it?
Yes.
Fun fact. Fun fact that Chinen is voiced by Masako Nozawa. You guys know who that she is, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Name one role.
Goku.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
the Gokus, yes.
But yeah, then there's a bunch of other characters who are also like throwbacks to them. And that's about it. First day. First day of dodgeball school. She goes to the dodgeball school. She's like, damn, these guys are playing wimpy elementary school dodgeball. You gotta play real dodgeball. Because, you know, she's the daughter of Dampé. So she starts throwing
Fireballs.
no shit at them.
Wrenches.
Uh-huh.
No, instead of you can dodge or wrench dodgeball, no, she throws shit. She's like, you don't want to get poop on you? Better start dodging.
I think you'd be arrested for that, but
But it's okay, Near. It's fake. It's fake. Uh, it's silicone. Don't worry. And then she's like, wow, you guys suck. Let's go to my dad's dojo with special dodgeball training tools. You see this giant iron ball? If you can dodge an iron ball, you can dodge a dodgeball.
Okay.
it's almost like a wrench.
Yeah. Like, see this? If you can dodge this, you can dodge a ball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's this kind of super sports shonen. Whatever.
The
That's
thing is,
literally about it.
the thing is, it's like the art style and like the fact that it's all like super like kind of like chibi deformed like kid kind of stuff makes it feel like visually the series is a little bit more of a like like show for kids, right? But it's like the dirty jokes and like this sort of like the humor and everything else makes it seem like it's a little bit more makes it or not makes it seem, but it's like it's ultimately like a series for like regular kind of shonen or even kind of seinen like older crowds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah.
we're in the oh my god, I can't believe we're in the age where a lots of the old school animes are getting a remake, and then we're not talking
Yeah,
Spice
yeah, yeah,
World.
yeah, for
We're
sure.
talking about the really
Yeah,
old stuff
like
like
90s. Yeah, yeah,
1990s.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen with Spires series who he unceremoniously took from me, and I will argue
Yeah,
about stuff about that later when he comes up. But yeah,
yeah. But yeah,
what else can I say about the series?
How's it look?
It's pretty good.
I
Hard
was
to
gonna
find
say I
fancy
saw
art.
some of the shots from it, some of the cuts from it, and it's actually like, you know, obviously it still maintains that art style, but it has some pretty nice like action.
Yeah,
who's the studio?
Q.
Q.
Studio
Oh,
Q. They've done
okay, okay.
I
Kill Ow,
what the I don't
and that's it.
Near, did you do Kill Owl? I think you did, right?
I don't
No,
think
who did
so.
Kill Blue?
Did any of us
It
do
became
this?
it became pretty no, but it became pretty popular recently, right? I think got picked it picked up in terms of popularity.
I have no
Uh,
idea.
I remember the name, but yeah, it's Q is former IG production, IG animation studio people. So I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, for the art style, it like Dark said, it's pretty much dated. Do I want to say retro? I don't want to say retro.
I
It's
mean
got a
that's
retro.
pretty
It's kind of
fair
got
to
that
What's
say,
vibe.
I think.
what's before retro? What's the word before retro?
Um,
Or beyond retro?
Beyond
I mean,
retro? I mean, this is definitely not beyond, right? It's like
vintage
this is
retro.
newer than
Vintage class.
that. This is like
Vintage.
early
Retro is fine.
2000s ish type
prehistoric
stuff.
anime.
Like
Yeah, legend anime.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yes, it looks fine for what it is. I mean, it definitely, like I said, it definitely has that feel of an old school anime brought to life with modern colors.
Yeah,
In a
Mhm.
way, that's
it's kind of
different.
Yu-Gi-Oh esque almost with the hairstyles and stuff, right?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it's no, it's typical 90s 80s protagonist hair. Near. You can't say you. Wait, when was Yu-Gi-Oh come out? Can you say that? Is he allowed to say that? Chat, is
I
he
think
allowed
you
to say
can,
that?
right?
Car 5 Vanguard? Car 5
And
Vanguard
no,
style?
1996. You can't say that, near.
What?
Yu-Gi-Oh's
What do you mean?
1996. You're not. It's typical hot-blooded shonen protagonist hair. I'll say that.
Sure.
She's got fire hair, just like her father, Danpei.
I mean, for like some of these other characters, not so much the main protagonist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the blue-haired girl.
Who's your favorite, Nick?
I have no idea.
My favorite's the freaking nature, the tall freaking nature. She's funny.
Just from a glance, the green-haired girl's kind of cute. But
Oh, you mean the one that gets a freaking? Oh, no spoil. Well, it's in the. I showed you the opening, right, Nick?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I like the tall girl because she's funny. Yeah. What am I going? Yeah, so it's Studio Q. Visuals are fine. They're good. It's one of the I guess I'll say it's one of the better adaptations of a like an older retro vintage, whatever you want to call it, style anime
that we've had in
in
recently.
form. Yeah, I want to say like Hell Teacher Nube did something like this, but the designs are a bit more modernized.
Yeah, in Hell Teacher
And
Nube, right? Or
yeah,
yeah. I remember you saying that, and you said even because it's like, although the setting itself was still like kind of like a callback to the past, there were still like more modernized
yeah.
aspects of it. Yeah.
This one,
I think
this
you
one
did
is a
mention
lot
that.
more cartoony and a lot more of its era, like the good old 18,
Yeah.
1980s. So this is a lot more faithful to the original series than I would say, even though this is technically a direct sequel.
Mhm.
So I'll say it's better at a retro feel at that than a Hell Teacher Nube. Visual, sure. Let's go. What else? The open.
What
Oh, I
rating?
guess the voice actors.
Opening
Voice
ending,
actors.
yes. Oh, and voice
Oh,
actors, yes.
what do you want me to do first? So,
No, you just go voice actors and
Danko's
then
voiced
OPAD.
by Nakayama Manaka, and apparently this is their only role. Damn, this is their only role.
This is like a
Nice,
breakout role, huh? Okay.
nice. I got my shoe in already. Did we see your episode? And then
Most of the others are pretty experienced, yeah, I think.
Chinko is voiced by. Okay, it's her name. It's
Ka-
Kaori
Maeda
Maeda.
Kaori.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
heard that name before.
Yep.
Near your favorite, the green-haired girl. Her name's Honey. Get it?
Yeah.
Because you saw from the opening, she uses bees. She's voiced by Sasahara Yu. Oh wow, she's that. For those who don't know, that's Curran-chan.
Yes. There's a lot of
There's a lot of fun.
pretty experienced voice actresses here. I think probably the most experienced one here are probably Inoue Marina and Taichiyo, right? I think.
I don't know who those are. Uesaka Sumire? I've never heard of her. Firo's Eye? Issei Maria? I don't know who those are. Iguchi Yuka? Wow. Kana Nakamura? Yeah, it's all the big players. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, all
most
the
of
big
them are
players there.
A-listers
Yeah.
that you've heard of like in recent years for sure. Yeah.
I will say though that the original Danpei voice actor is Noriko Hidaka.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who she is, you guys like Inuyasha? I like Inuyasha. She's the voice of Kikyo.
Yes, classic voice.
But yeah, old man Force Ghost Danpei though, he's voiced by Katsuyuki Konishi. He's the now that's a good name for a hot-blooded shonen protagonist to have. If you don't know, that's near name one Katsuyuki Konishi role. You know he is, right? That's
Yeah.
right, Near. He's the Gachar driver,
True.
aka the voice of Diavolo from Golden Wind, aka the voice of Kamina from Gurren Lagann.
AKA the voice of Amidamaru from Shaman King.
Yeah. So like that's what that's a perfectly serviceable role for a Force Ghost. Like so, yeah, pretty much all of these all these voice actors, I see where they're going.
Yeah, pretty much everybody except for the main is like they're they're pretty experienced veterans.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, good cast, well, I'll say. And then wow, there's like nothing on my anime list on. There's nothing on my anime list. Wow, there's no one watching this?
Probably not, man.
Wow, that's lame. This is pretty good. So anyway, the opening is. Wait, let me pull that up again. It's Momoyoro Clover Z, which you know what? That's also another
Damn,
really
I haven't
good pick.
heard. I haven't heard that name in
Oh,
a while.
Momokuro. Really? Momokuro
Yeah.
did the opening. Wow. Jesus
So-
Christ.
And it's Kaishi no Ichigeki.
Wait, wait, hold up. The opening is by Momoyoro Clover Z. The ending is by Iris.
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy. That's where all the money
Yeah,
went, I
it's-
guess.
For a series
Yeah,
that
that's
no
where
one
all the money
apparently
went.
no one is watching except me. This is primo stuff.
Yeah. Both the opening and the very famous groups here, and the
Yeah.
song-related groups as well, doing
Did
these
you know
things.
Spire? Did you know Spire didn't even put this on the previews last week, even though I said, "Hey, you should put this on." How dare you?
It was at the very end. I apologize.
But yeah, yeah, it's really good. These openings pretty good. The ending is, I will say, the opening is a lot better than the ending because the ending is kind of, well, animation-wise, the ending's just because it's just, oh, here's the cast. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a very standard kind of. They don't put as much money into the ending kind of thing. Unfortunate.
How dare you say that about Iris? I
Yeah, I
Iris,
apologize.
not
Actually,
Moyo Clover
yeah.
Z.
Never mind. I apologize.
But I will mention. I might as well mention it. It's pretty big deal to us in the know. So the opening is directed by Masami Obari, and if you don't know who he is, don't talk to me.
Old head.
Don't talk to me. Yeah. If you don't know Masami Obari, one of my favorite roles that he did, he's the mecha designer for Dankuga. Yeah. Right near. It's Dankuga, right? He's also
yeah,
the
right?
director on the Build Diver stuff, Battlelog.
I mean, he's done a
basically
shitload of mecha
Gravion.
stuff throughout the years. Yeah.
Gravion's what? Dankuga
Yeah.
Nova. I like Dankuga Nova quite a bit. Brave Near Brave Bang Bravern. Who did that? Dark. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug did that.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh,
He's
was he?
also
Yeah.
the designer for that. He's basically.
Oh, okay.
This is an old school dude who does old school stuff, and he also did the Kinnikuman remake opening. I posted it in the Discord. Basically, you know that these openings are almost virtually 1-to-1, as it should be. So there's a lot of, how do I say that? There's a lot of old, like we've been saying before. It's a lot of old school retro feel to this anime, and there's a lot of, it's got a primo cast and a primo director, all of it in this. So yeah, what else can I say? This stuff is the good stuff. The good old days of hot-blooded shonen anime / old shonen battle mangas that brought back in the good old year of our Lord 2026 for some odd reason. 30 years later. I don't know, is there something special about 30 years in
I
Japan?
mean, I don't think so necessarily,
Like a
but
milestone,
it's
right?
just.
Like the 30-year anniversary or something? Well, like Danko gets a pass because the remake was in 30 years later. I don't know. It, I guess they are really running out of ideas in Japan because once you got all the isekais, let's just go for remakes of old stuff. You know what?
Yeah, I mean, they
There's
always
nothing wrong
they're
with that.
trying to it's like they're too afraid to play, like look for maybe more innovative
Or
manga or
maybe there's
something like
nothing
that.
good coming out. It-
Everything is
I think
bad
there
these
are at least
is
a
manga
couple.
is
Yeah,
manga and anime declining, Spire? Do you think so? I think it's
I don't know
declining.
about like, declining, but I think
You get like
certainly companies are trying to play it very safe.
when did when did One Piece come out?
That's
Nah,
true. That
Well,
was like the last good manga, right?
when did One Piece start? 1997. So, wow, it is almost 30 years in One Piece. Did you
Yep.
know? Because, like I said, One Piece is also getting a remake with Wit Studio. I'm like,
Yeah.
But you know what's even
yeah.
better? Naruto. We're gonna be talking about this, but Naruto live action is coming out, so you know that's gonna go.
Yes,
It's over.
No,
yes.
no,
They're
no.
still searching
We're
for a
gonna.
Naruto. Remember?
Yeah, they're literally
Yeah,
searching
they're
for a
looking for
cast right now.
Naruto and Sasuke, I think. Um, it's gonna be
No, you
Tom
know what the
Holland.
most important thing is though,
It might
especially
be.
if we want to pull in the Fujoshis, we need to have the Twilight cast reprise as at least Itachi and or Kakashi. If we do not
True,
have
bro.
these two be members from the Twilight, it's over. We need Robert Pattinson as Itachi,
True.
or it's done.
Dude, Robert Pattinson, Itachi, and like fucking
Christian Anderson as Kakashi.
bro.
And
No, dude, you
actually,
gotta have
and
like you gotta have like Toby
would-
Maguire as Kakashi, bro.
Toby Maguire. Toby Maguire, but he's like Rock Lee. He's
I like
like
Toby
he's got like
Maguire.
a bull
No. He's Guy Sensei.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck, man.
Oh my
It's gonna
God.
be so shit.
Oh,
Oh my God, it's
but
gonna
yeah,
be great.
I don't know why we're going into this like recursion of anime. Where like, why are we going to this recursion series? We're like, hey, remember how good it was in
'Cause nostalgia sells.
1980, 1990? We're bringing it
Yeah,
back.
nostalgia sells, and also again, it's like they just want to play it safe. They don't
I
really.
believe it. Is it safe? Is it safe, Spire, to bring back old stuff? Is it
They
safe to
think- they
remake
think-
Star
Safe,
Fox
yeah.
64 again?
They think it's
Yeah.
safe. Yeah, I mean, they think it's safer than trying to use their brains to find new and better manga. Is what they're
Is it
thinking.
safe to bring back Ocarina of Time remake? And
Definitely,
Metal Gear,
yeah.
yeah, it is. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They will try to remake. They will try to remake Cowboy Bebop for like a fourth time, or live action Cowboy Bebop for a fourth time, if they were given the license to, and there was not as much backlash. Like, trust me.
Remember the spiritual successor to Cowboy Bebop, Spire or Near? Remember what they've
Which
been
one?
calling
Space
it?
Standing?
No,
Or what are you talking about?
Lazarus.
Lazarus? Yeah.
Oh, Lazarus.
Lazarus.
It was alright.
Did you
Oh
look?
yeah, that's definitely getting a live action for in like 2
Oh, yeah,
years,
probably.
3 years. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised we're not getting a Gotobu no Hanayome live action adaptation already.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it's called-
straight up.
it's called Rental Girlfriend Season 6.
I mean,
Oh my God.
real
Like,
talk,
remember the
if they
anti-friends.
had the money for it, like a live action Lazarus would actually kind of go insane because
Live
it would be
action
the
Lazarus.
least
Give it to,
egregious.
like,
It would be the least
featuring the
egregious.
same
you would
actor
have to
from the
actually
Yu
get
Yu Hakusho, but-
what's his name, the actual like John Wick choreographer, like for that,
Oh
Yeah.
my
and
God.
that
that'd be
would
pretty
go
good,
kind of
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah,
Yeah.
overall, this is a good series. Why not? Yeah,
Okay.
it's got
What
everything
points?
everything I like in a sports battle anime, just brought to life in the modern age, and I don't have any real complaints about it. All the old jokes that is a-okay in the 1890. I keep saying 1890s, 1980s, 1990s. They're back in the 2020s, and you know what? You can't stop us. You can't stop them because Smart, where's that picture I posted a long time ago? I posted a picture,
one?
right? Oh, I posted a picture of. Well, it's from your series. You saw that thing, right? I posted a frame from my series, for your series, that it's basically something I could apply here. Let me. Do I have to bring it up? Yeah. Here, I'll post it again right here. Out of respect for the source material, there may be scenes
Oh, is
considered
it like this
offensive
Oh
to
yeah,
modern
I saw
sensibility.
that. Yeah, I
that's
saw
from
that. I
your
saw that.
series.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good. Keep to the source material. I don't want any change. I don't want any modern changes. Keep it as it is. Yeah, keep the funny chimpo jokes and poo throwing jokes in here. I want it all, and I'm glad they did that. So yeah, honestly, I can give this series like a high score. Why not? There's nothing really like too egregious with it. that I can say currently from episode 1. I mean, yeah, I don't. There's no like there's no major faults that I can see so far, and I hope it doesn't have. So I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Pretty
Unlike
good.
another series, which I was supposed to give a 10 out of 10, but I have to dock it a few points because of some changes that I don't like, and a lot of people don't like either. I know what
Yeah.
you did to I know what you did to Donna Burke. I can't forgive that. Even though you replaced Donna Burke with the voice actor from the games, we all like Donna Burke. Right, Near? You like
Um,
Donna Burke, right?
Sure.
Donna Burke, the Australian who's lived in Japan since the early 90s and has been used a lot of exclusively in promotional material since the early 2000s. I like the Snake Eater. I like the new Snake Eater song she did. I like Sins of the Father. Weird. Yeah, so yeah, solid 9 out of 10. Old school sports anime, hot blooded shonen stuff. It's all good. Just
Hmm.
don't try to look for any. If you like stuff like, I guess like I mentioned, Eye Shield 21, or basically all the good sports shonen animes that all back in the day, you'd like this one. I
Okay.
guess. Remember Keijo? I gave Keijo a high score. Keijo's also up there with the hot-blooded animes.
Keijo is, I think, I mean, even compared to this,
To
which
be
does have
fair,
its like jokes, I think it's a little bit of a different vector, to be honest.
not really.
You think so?
There's some wacky shit that goes on in Keijo that's very similar to stuff that happens over here. So they're in the same. They're not in this. They're not too different. But
Okay, okay.
it's obvious. It's not to that level of Keijo stuff, but wacky shit. So yeah,
Okay.
it's all good stuff. 9 out of 10. I highly recommend it if you want some good old sports.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast, and again for helping to cover this series. Again, this series was Honoo no, Honoo no Toukyuujo, Danko. So Danko was actually a sequel of, I mean, in the same universe as well, obviously, of Honoo no Tokyuji, Dodgeball, which was the original series that was created way back in the what was it? Like 90s, early 90s. Or sorry,
89.
the manga was 89, and then the
I guess
anime
early
was like
90s. Yeah.
91. Yes, yes, yes. And then 30 years later, we're pretty much getting the sort of the anime adaptation of the sequel done by.
Even though the like I said, the manga this manga came out in 2022, so it's a revival.
So, um, pretty much if you want to see again like a old style, hot blooded kind of sports series, obviously it has like the kind of the chibi girls as well. But if you want kind of a blast from the past, with sports, dodgeball, that sort of thing, please do check it out.
Aspire, did you watch Zettai Cat and Children, or apparently it's called Psychic Squad? You know that series, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
I mean, that's also something I would say has a retro feel, even though it's pretty new. But yeah, the good old
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, that would also be
Oh yeah, the
an
the
equivalent, I
news
would
at
say.
Taika and Children.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast. I'm going to be taking over now, also with a
Yeah,
fun
wow,
little
you
series.
took over my series too, by the way. I'm gonna complain about that too then.
But the series I'm going to be covering is called Tetsunabe no Jan, also known as Iron Wok Jan. And this is a manga original by Saijo Shinji. And this is their only work. And this manga itself was actually started way back in 1995. Um, so again, this was
Uh,
pretty much a month apart from Cooking Master Boy. I believe Cooking Master Boy was initially
same era.
published in October of 1995, and then this was actually published in November of '95, so it was literally within like a month of each
Yeah.
other. So pretty much, as Toast just mentioned, pretty much the same era. The adaptation that's going on right now is done by Troika Studios. So obviously, you guys all know them by their infamous work, All Know Zero. And more recently, they did Atri, My Dear Moments, which, if you guys know, is originally a front-wing visual novel.
I would
Yeah.
have said Idolish 7, but okay.
Yeah, Idolish 7
Okay.
is also one of their famous kind of long-running, I guess, franchises that they're helping to work. But yeah, Troika's heading it on, and within it, the project team is headed by Aoki A. So if you guys don't know, Aoki A is pretty much like Troika's, I want to say, like core director. He doesn't necessarily direct everything in Troika, but he is like one of the OGs at the studio. He was there for, again, stuff like I'll Know Zero, I believe, for Idolish, and then stuff like Atri as well. And Director Aoki brings together some of the standard kind of Troika team members, such as Matsumoto Masako as character designer, and like what is it, Naito Ken as art director, Akitaka Jin, obviously, very prolific sound director, as well as some experienced people from the outside to form this project team. So overall, pretty experienced team, and most of them are pretty used to each other. In terms of the voice acting cast, as you can see, pretty much the entire voice acting cast. This is actually somewhat rare these days, but it's a pretty heavily veteran cast. I don't think there's anybody new here. Like, yeah, there's pretty much nobody new here, with a decent number of A-listers. Out of here, the quote-unquote least experienced voice actor is actually Kikunosuke Toya, who is voicing the protagonist, Akiyama-chan. So if you guys don't know who Kikunosuke Toya is, he is the young star who pretty much slammed into the seiyuu scene with his first breakout role being Denji from Chainsaw Man. So
Wow.
Crazy
he's
connections, man.
Wow, Spire, I can't believe our series both have parallel comparisons where our main character is voiced by someone new, then we have a whole cast of veterans behind them. Wow.
yeah. But yeah, he's in this crowd, he is quote unquote the least experienced, which is kind of scary to say it. But yeah, the other members, you have Hasegawa Ikumi, you have Mao, you have Takahiro, you have Suki Tomokazu, stuff like that. Kobayashi Yusuke, Tsuda Kenjiro is narrating. So a lot of heavy A-listers as well. Going over to the opening ending, audio visuals real quickly. The ending actually has not come out yet, although we do know the information. It is so we haven't like seen it yet as of us recording this. It is Naita Akuma by Enumi Mini. So Enemy Mini is a smaller kind of newcomer Japanese YouTuber singer who does like a lot of covers. Again, we haven't released this yet. We might have an update for this when it does release. But the opening is Kaen by so Kaen done with the kanji for like flame and banquet essentially, or flame and feast. And this is sung by Gein wa Jibun ni Aru. So Gein wa Jibun ni Aru is a seven member Japanese boy band. They've gone through a lot of like reshuffling and stuff like that, I think, over the years, and renaming. But it is a Japanese boy band. The composition of the opening, I would say, is pretty okay, but I think the vocals could use definitely a little bit of work. But overall, it's not bad. Audio visuals wise, the character design of the line work is pretty similar. The line art, excuse me, is pretty similar and reminiscent of the older series and the manga in general, obviously. So it resembles the manga stuff decently for the most part. The ideas for the animations and the storyboard like setups and the concepts behind the actual cooking scenes are well done, and they have a lot of these multi-panel pop-ins. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's like, for instance, you'll have, how it's like, um, you'll have the screen split into like three, right? And then you'll have the first third of of like the panel, the one on the left, kind of animating the first part of the cooking scene. Like let's say flipping the rice, and then you'll have the
Oh
second,
yeah,
the
so it's
middle
like a
panel, only
cut up
like
like montage.
yeah, montage. You'll have a lot of stuff like that, or you'll have like the repeated. You'll have this thing where it's like, where you have one scene and then that scene gets like repeated. The screen gets like cut into a quarter, like into four, and then that scene gets repeated again, like, and then the screen again gets cut into four. So it's like you'll have like 16 mini of the same scenes to kind of emphasize the repetition going all over and over again. So you have a lot of these like different like ways to split up the panel and have like cut-ins and like stuff like that. And I like that sort of storyboard concept. It's a lot more, I want to say, like manga adjacent in terms of like utilization of like different panels and stuff like that in the anime. So I do like that. So I think that's well done. The storyboarding is quite well done, but overall, some of the animation, like specific like cooking, the animations during like the cooking scenes and stuff like that, are definitely um like you can tell that they don't have necessarily the budget of something like a Shokugeki no Soma or like a David production kind of thing, right? Um, so I kind of almost wish that this had gone over to David Productions or like some other kind of like studio instead of necessarily Troika, just so I could kind of potentially watch this series at like a higher quality and potentially the quality that it quote unquote deserves. But I do like it. I do like the storyboarding. I do like how it kind of panned out. The BGM is a lot of in the background of when it's not silent, and it is mostly silent because most of it's just like cooking, kind of setting up, just talking a little bit back and forth. But when it's actually like when they're like confronting each other or like they're building up the tension, there's a lot of blaring. It's a lot of electronic synth sounds, like what you would find in an adaptation of like an old school battle manga or like a fighting game, right? But other than that, again, it's relatively nondescript. But I think in terms of the audio visuals, much like a lot of the other stuff in the series, it's a pretty charming kind of old school style that I do appreciate. Going over the series, essentially, Shokugeki no Soma is, or not Shokugeki no Soma, Tetsunabe no Jan is very similar to a lot of these other kind of series that you might see that have these sorts of like genius cook, prodigy, um, working at a place, maybe making new dishes, whatever, stuff like that.
You know all those Chinese all those Chinese cooking series? It's basically that too. They're all good.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, there's a high-end Chinese restaurant in Ginza, Tokyo. For those of you who don't know, Ginza is like one of like the rich, I don't want to say like gentrified places, but it's like one of like the places where rich people hang out a lot, the very affluent people. And this high-end Chinese restaurant obviously has like the different Chinese dishes, but they also make like ridiculous stuff like entire dragons or swans out of like fruits and veggies and stuff like that. And so dude walks in and people are like, what is this guy all about? And he asks for a dish of fried rice. And after eating it, he's like, this is crap. Like, what are you guys doing? He throws it away and he starts making fried rice himself. And everybody kind of starts gathering around him being like, what the heck is this guy doing? And it's found out that the boy's name is Akiyama-chan. And Akiyama is the grandson of Akiyama Kaichiro. So Akiyama Kaichiro in this universe was sort of he passed away, but he was known as sort of the master, the conqueror of Chinese cuisine back in the day. Um, and his sort of the owners, the proprietors, the family that owns the high-end restaurant that he was making fried rice in, the Gobancho family, is essentially I don't want to say necessarily the rival, but
They are
obviously
basically
they yeah
pretty
they
much.
are they're basically the rivals essentially. So the guy kind of walks in, starts making the rice, and he's like, obviously he wants to be super high quality, but he also considers cooking to be sort of a competitive thing. So he always has to kind of be like one step up. He has to always do something more extra. He always has to do something more, right? And he brings that vision. And
So
yep,
what's the deal with this fried rice, Spire? Why is it so much different than the original, golden fried rice they serve over there? What did he add? What's the
yeah, yeah.
secret ingredient?
Yeah. So he starts adding
MSG.
stuff like
Close.
MSG, but he starts doing stuff like adding tofu or trying to um dealing with the fact that he's adding more like watery ingredients, right,
Well,
to
yeah, Spire,
a
you can't
dish that
add
is
tofu. You can't add tofu to fried rice. Tofu is mostly water. It's gonna. How
yeah,
can
yeah,
you
yeah,
make
and it's gonna
fried rice when
ruin
it's be
the
water?
kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like stuff like that. And then along the way, he does that. He makes stuff like yuringi and so on as well. But essentially, he um, the other people are not necessarily like inspired by him, but it's like they accept his like cooking skills, right? And he starts working at the restaurant alongside again the Gobancha people, alongside um the sort of the heir, I want to say, to the Gobancha family, Kiriko Gobancho, or Gobancho Kiriko, uh, who is pretty much one of the best cooks in Gobancho, and again, her sort of the heir to the Gobancho kind of family there. So she is
What do you
pretty much the
mean,
same
Spire?
as
They
Jin.
don't get along at all. You have to
Yeah, yeah,
explain our
yeah,
protagonist's personality.
yeah. Yeah, she's it's essentially the same as the easiest way to explain it
He's no
for.
Shokugeki no Soma, Spire. When was this made? 1996, right? He's from that era. He's from that
Yeah, yeah,
era
yeah,
of hot-blooded shonen protagonists. He's not
yeah, yeah.
cool. Yeah,
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 no,
whatever.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely get to that later,
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but essentially, like the female relationship, from like the female side, in terms of like the initial setup, is similar to that of like Shokugeki no Soma. That's like the easiest way to explain it for the MZ generation out there. um, but that summary aside, my impressions on it, yeah, and then afterwards, like all about pretty much must be about cooking, and I'll get into a little bit more of the details later when I'm giving my impressions. So, my impressions is that this is obviously very much a product and relic of its time, although I will say it's not an unwelcome one, right? It's not one that's like out of place necessarily, or like something that I'd be like, oh, well, it's just, they just remade it and it's like they just want to sell some stuff and then go home. Um, it's not necessarily relying just on nostalgia. It's like actually has value on its own. Obviously, again, because it is a product of what Toast just mentioned with regards to sort of the hot-blooded shonen focused, a lot of that bias uh, in the 90s. It's filled with a lot of these like extreme situations. These situations almost utilizing the escapism, I want to say, that was permeating the time. The escapism instead of like the realism that we see in a lot of series these days with stuff like I want to say probably the most infamous one we know in like media is like DC stuff, right? DC superheroes. But instead of that, sort of utilizing the escapism that was permeating literature at that time and using it in a cooking anime and focus on doing that sort of extreme, ruthless, competitive, like extra kind of thing. Obviously, again, very similar in nature to Cooking Master Boy, and because they started around in pretty much the same time. I think this is a very it's also important to mention, I would say, this is a very different take on this sort of series for an audience looking for a slightly different tone compared to even say something like Shokugeki no Soma.
I
I
will
would
say
say,
that
yeah,
if Cookie Master Boy is super lighthearted and whimsical with all that, this series is the complete opposite of that in terms of
yeah,
tone.
for sure. It's like, how do I say this? It's sort of like what you would sort of see in Shokugeki no Soma, because Cooking Master Boy is a little bit more
Uh,
like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, this dish was made kind of thing, right? It's like this dish kind of landed here
I
almost.
see where we're going. I see
Um,
where we're going. Inspired. It's like if Shokugeki no Soma has foodgasms, this one has food.
Yeah, it's grinding it, but it's like the difference between the line between Shokugeki no Soma and like Tetsunabe no Jen, and you can kind of tell that this is like a difference in the ages, is that Shokugeki no Soma has like outside of some like the cooking scenes, right? It has a much softer tone and it focuses a lot more on the outside on the various kind of like cast and character development and potential rom-com interactions and stuff like that. Um, when it doesn't focus on the food, right? And that's again a product of Shokugeki no Soma's time, where because in that sort of early to late 2000s, going into I want to say around 2014, right? That sort of era in which Shokugeki no Soma was born in. Um, that was the rage, right? Putting rom com into every here and there, having a lot more things about like the character development and like the cast, networking and expedition and all that sort of stuff was sort of the time, was sort of the zeitgeist at that in that context. But with Tetsunabe no Jan, right? All the like most of obviously most of it's about the cooking, like very heavily on the actual food over the character expositions, and the character expositions themselves are almost simply like the wheels or like the grease on which the series managed to get from one cooking scene to another in Tetsunabe no Jan. It's not like, oh, the characters are doing all this thing and then the cast is like having this relationship and doing blah, blah. It's like not really, it's almost not really the focus. Although obviously they need a minimum amount of it to be like, hey, there are characters in this anime, right? But with Tetsunabe no Jan, very much the focus is like one cooking scene one. Okay, all right, this cooking scene one is done. Let's do a little bit of the story so we can get to cooking scene two. So I think that's a very heavy difference. Although obviously there are like the competitive aspects of Tetsunabe no Jan versus Shokugeki no Soma are quite similar, right? But the in-betweens are quite different. And again, obviously they reflect the different eras that they were born in my opinion. Do you kind of agree, Toast?
Yeah, I'll say this. If Shokugeki no Soma is foodgasm, I would say this series
Mm.
is food violence because the way Jan
Yeah, yeah,
cook
yeah, yeah.
is pretty violent.
Yeah,
You know,
but like, and again,
in
it's
a
like
way to put it.
the animation sequences and the paneling also kind of add to that, where it's always like, oh, I'm gonna fucking like, stir fry this so hard. It's like a lot of that is like that sort of
Yeah,
extreme
there's a lot of
nature.
like I mentioned before, there's a lot of mannerisms in this show that's not typical of current modern modern
Woke
views,
nonsense.
Yeah,
if you
Wokonose,
want to put
it's
it
a
that way.
little bit more similar to something like something you see in like a Prince of Tennis or like a Baki almost, in like a fighting like
Very
extreme kind of like we're gonna
closer
do
to Baki
something
than Prince of
super
Tennis.
extreme.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a good point. Is this the Baki of cooking, or is this the
It's tried to do like fighting series, but with like cooking essentially. Is sort of
yeah?
how that it goes.
I
Yeah.
would say. Do you guys know the series? What is it? You guys know Otokojuku, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would say it's in the same vein as those series.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is is this true? Is this true battle cooking manga spire, and not whimsical children's children's
I think
shonen
it's pretty close to
cooking?
it for sure. It's like it's not just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
wow food
yeah,
porn. It's
yeah.
not
I
like
would
that.
say
It's like it actually. Yeah.
if Cooking Master Boy and Fighting Foodons are like shonen battle mangas, this is a lot
It's like
more.
food presentation.
Oh,
It's like yeah, Cooking Master Boy is like a food presentation, and like America's Test Kitchen kind of video, right?
hmm.
But like
So this is the
Tetsunabe
Hell's
no Jan is a
Kitchen.
little bit yeah, Hell's Kitchen is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
exactly. Yeah, like the vibes are definitely a little bit different. But yeah, thanks Toast for the cut in. But one thing I will say that and this is not like a like major criticism or even like a criticism of like a major extent or anything like that. Um, the extreme and like almost surreal food situations aside, which are charming, funny and stuff like that, the depictions of Japanese food and cuisine in the series, you can tell, have been filtered kind of through the Japanese eye and the Japanese like cultural knowledge of cuisine, which was then if you kind of know like food history, it's already sort of filtered through Western influences at that point in time as well, right? The easiest example is sort of like having the green peas in the fried rice, as well as the Japanese style like fried rice that you see in a lot of these like Instagrammable restaurants today in Japan, right? For instance, like in the first example, like green peas aren't like illegal necessarily in fried rice, but usually in like China, especially in like the poor areas, right? You focus on you don't really have like green peas lying around always for fried rice. It's more just like what you find in the backyard or like
Spire,
in back the back mountains, right? So it's like
Spire,
a lot of
don't you know Yangzhou fried rice? Green peas are a necessity, or else it's not real fried rice.
eh,
It's in the
well,
manual, Spire. I watched that video.
yeah, yeah, but I think most of the time it's like unless you're like near the coastline, unless you're like near the south where it's like a lot more like diverse, usually it's like finding leaves, scallions, mushrooms, like whatever the hell you can kind of just chuck in the fried rice, and that's like a very standard like Chinese style. And then on top of that, you have a lot of the you have classic like Japanese people really like the way having a more liquid egg layer over the rice, right? To create that like even yellow layer. But a lot of Chinese fried rice you'll see is not actually like that. A lot of Chinese fried rice is often you let the egg cook a decent amount and then you kind of mix the chunks into the rice, right? If you just
Yeah,
have the
it's the
liquid
difference
egg onto the
between
rice,
egg
yeah,
ribbons and what is it called? Versus just cooking it in it. Egg
yeah,
shreds or whatever. What do you call it?
yeah, so it's like you'll have in Chinese fried rice you'll have a lot of like egg chunks, like small like chunks and stuff like that in it. But then in like sort of Japanese restaurants, you'll have like an egg colored rice, right? It's almost like the liquid egg is wrapped around the rice. But Chinese people sometimes call that sort of like Japanese like egg colored rice. They'll call it jimbayan or gold over silver. Um, which is sometimes people like it, sometimes people don't, but it is definitely like the depictions, a lot of these in the in Tetsunabe Jan is definitely like a Japanese culturally influenced version of Chinese cuisine, which is like fine, but it's like that's just how it is. um Overall though, I do think that it was a quite a fun romp and definitely a refreshing change of pace, although obviously it's a blast from the past, right? But it is still a refreshing pace of change of pace that we get from this series. It's very like one note in the best of ways, right? It's like boom, we have this cooking scene and it's cooking. We're being intense. We're doing this. We're going from this to a second cooking scene that's intense, and we're talking about the food. Boom, 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 boom. Again, I almost wish that this was done by David Productions or some, studio that could really give it a little bit more gloss on it. For
Spire.
it to,
I don't think David. Do you think they would want some of this controversy, Spire?
the
Cause
controversy, I
cause I will say that uh, you, you don't. Have you read the manga, Spire?
I have not, unfortunately.
It
I do want
gets.
to read
I
it
will
now.
say that it gets pretty damn violent in here. So I don't think. Do you think David? I don't think David Production wants this smoke.
I mean, they've
I mean,
done like decent.
there's. I will say there's a reason why I call this cooking violence because there's a lot of unsavory things that happen in this manga, and
Yeah, I mean, but
it's
they've done
not.
stuff like Undead Unluck and the other stuff too, right? It's like
It's
it's not
not that
they're not
bad.
like not used
I
to.
don't know.
uh,
I mean, there's a reason why I call this food violence. Like,
yeah.
Does someone get like boiling oil poured on their face? Like, what are you
uh,
talking about?
I mean, damn, damn near. How dare you?
What?
Yeah, it's well, you're pretty much on the money near. There's a lot of violent stuff. This, like I said, this
Uh,
is cooking violence.
it's like those
A
old
real.
You remember those old like safety commercials? I don't know if you guys had them actually, but in Canada here, there were these old commercials that would play on TV of like workplace accidents. Um,
Yeah.
and there was one where it was like a bunch of pipes falling on a dude, in a forklift, and then there was another where like this girl like slips in a kitchen, as she's carrying like a pot of boiling oil, and it like shows the whole thing, and it's just like It's just like, what the fuck?
Or like it's
Um,
like the Indiana Jones movies or stuff like that, where it's like
yeah,
it's
and it's just
showing
like,
like
damn, okay.
the guy melting.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean,
But
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. Like I said, there's a lot of violence in the series, not just with like
Mhm.
the cooking. Well, it's because of the way they cook. Like it might be unsavory to some people, but also like in the competitions themselves. I mean, I don't know. Let's just say that Jan was forced under pretty guerrilla cooking tactics, I will say.
damn.
Like if you don't,
Vietnamese cooking tactics.
I guess
Yeah.
it's like like I said, violence cooking. I will say that whatever. You know those oh, whatever. Yeah, violence cooking. I'm not gonna say what happens in this one because it's a pretty good, even though, yeah, some stuff happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is a overall, again, pretty fun romp. I don't really have much to like in terms of like the source material and like what it's kind of depicting and like the story and stuff like that and the flow of it. I don't really have much to say in terms like I don't really have like major criticisms or anything like that of it. Again, I do wish
I
that.
have a criticism, Spire. You reviewed this too early. We didn't get any crazy cooking yet. How dare you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I apologize for that, but yeah, I think this is definitely a kind of refreshing. If you guys still like cooking series, which a lot of people do, but want a kind of more focused kind of series, right, on the cooking instead of just like, wow, somebody digging into an omelet with a fork or whatever it is, right? I think this is definitely a good change of pace to check out. Um, so again, I would say definitely at least chuck this one on the backlog, see where it goes. I think in terms of ratings, I will put this at a solid 7.5 out of 10, which is I think pretty decent for me. Again, I think if it was like a little bit, maybe if potentially
Let
it
me
was a different studio, it would go into eights and above. But I think it was I think Turka did an okay job, but I think there could have been studios that could maybe have done better for sure. So,
let me. I mean,
uh,
bring up a cool panel on this series once I find Inspire. So it's to see.
mm,
Also, this is why I call this series food violence. Let me go find it. But yeah,
yeah,
my
yeah,
opinion. This is also a must watch for this season. I do. I'm calling out Spire that he reviewed this series too early. That we haven't got to the crazy wacky stuff. But yeah, this is definitely on my must watch.
okay. But yeah, that was pretty much my series. Again, if you guys want to watch a pretty good change of pace, refreshing cooking series with quite a lot of history, please do check this out. And next, we have yet another one that's been kind of bubbling up here and there on social media. Dark, what do you have for us?
Boob.
All the boobs.
Yeah,
Lunar slop nonsense,
I've
dude.
got Reiwa no Dara-san, which
Yeah, something that will never
it's
catch
like
up to Yanni Neko. So,
Dara-san of Reiwa, but it's also like abbreviated to like lazy Reiwa.
okay.
Because I believe like Dara is like slang for like lazy around or something, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, da stuff like that. Just being
Yeah.
like,
But yeah, so this is a manga original. This is being done by Asahi Production. Yeah, they're also taking up what is it, the smoking behind the convenience store or whatever series too.
oh,
So
okay.
this one was definitely slightly left behind in a way. Um, However, I think it's pretty decent. So I'm not even gonna bother with the mall synopsis because I don't even know what they're doing with it. But regardless, the series starts with like a landslide and storm happening that takes down a fence and a shrine on a mountain, on like a mountain village, and these two two youngsters siblings wind up exploring the mountain and going past the fence, and they encounter Dara-san, which is her full name is Madara Yamatagi, and she's a evil-ish like misfortune spirit slash former Miko that was killed and then turned into like a mountain god slash curse bringer type thing. And yeah, so it sets it up with like, you know, the grandfather being like, hey, like don't go in the mountains. There's a freaky spirit up there that'll get you.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so then the series just kind of turns into the two siblings of Misagiya Kaoru, the blonde, and Misagiya Hinata. Just kind of hanging out and talking to Dara-san and learning more about Dara-san's past. There's a lot of like flashbacks of you know, when Dara-san was like murdered by her family and turning into like the curse, and with like the cursed serpent mixing with like that spirit effectively to become the like half serpent, half Miko type look. And then getting into like some of her powers, some of the other history of the villages and the mountains and stuff. So it isn't just all weird slice of life, like goofy shenanigans stuff. But there has been a good amount of that too. Where, you know, like them bringing colas to Dara-san or different clothes and stuff like that. And just her learning more about the current state of the world now that she's basically been what do you call it, after like the landslide, even though the village tried to like rebuild the shrine and everything, it hasn't actually like held her back as strong, and she's also changing in some way as
So
a spirit.
can I ask questions? Can I ask two questions? First, is this essentially, you know how in the recent years we've gotten a bunch of series that's like an elf fall travels or like ends up in, I don't know, modern day Japan, and then learns about, you know, Japan's many things or whatever, or it's like
Yeah,
we had like Edogawa elf. Is it like similar to that?
yeah, so a
First of
little
all,
bit. It's a little bit
yeah.
like that. It's not
And
like
the
too
second
much.
of all,
There's usually only
how
like one or
episodic
two
is it?
bits per episode, it seems, of that.
Okay.
Not like it is fairly brief with things like that. This series has
How,
honestly, I would say there's a little bit more of a focus on just them kind of shooting the shit.
Mhm.
And also with Dara-san like reminiscing about the past and having some minor flashbacks of the village's past, along with the narrator taking it through it. And then some of it is Dara-san watching over the siblings. The other gimmick of the series too.
Is it episodic? Is this episodic or
Yeah,
what?
so there's only 2 out right now, but I would say it's like it's fairly episodic. I mean, there's a decent amount of like carry through and like whether it be bits or encounters from the prior episode from 1 to 2.
Mhm.
One of the other ongoing bits is that the oldest son is actually Kaoru the blonde, Kaoru Misagiya, and then the Hinata Misagiya, the brown-haired individual, is the sister. So that's like another like cross-dressing type gimmick they're
Okay.
going with, because, which I will say, like fully cross-dressing, because there is a lot of Kaoru being like interested in being like, you know, heterosexual.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of whoa. There's a lot of like them interacting with other characters. Like that's not it doesn't really focus too much on the like cross-dressing aspects overall, other than to use it for like a short bit with confusing Dara-san, and also have like some like pseudo trivia with Kaoru, because what is it? Dara-san brings up the fact that, you know, back in the old days, the oldest son, they would actually have the oldest son cross dress in order to like confuse different mountain spirits. And then that's how like Callouts' gender is introduced to Dara-san.
Oh,
So like that
okay,
was used as like a comedic shtick, and also being like, yeah, that actually hasn't changed effectively. Though I don't think that it's implied. I think it is implied that it's not actually like a full practice. It is just like how to himself preferring that, and same with Hinata. The other bit is that obviously this is also a as of right now, it's like a light smut series where the main like smut coming in is there's just like a significant amount of breast shots of Dara-san, and like
There's a lot of boob jokes.
yeah, a
in this
lot of
series,
boob, a lot of nipple,
Oh, okay.
a lot of nipple shots of Dara-san. So
Is that allowed, Dark? This is the Reiwa era. Is that supposed to be part of
yeah.
the joke? Get it? Because he's from a different time.
Yeah, not sure, but yeah. So that's like another big shtick of it, and also them getting like different clothes and stuff for her and everything. At least so far. And yeah, and then so far like there's been a supporting cast and stuff of other like weird characters that have their own quirks. I'm not really sure what else to say so far as the actual happenings of the show itself. It's pretty fun. It's solid. It's a good little slice of life romp.
So is most of the comedy kind of based towards, is it like slapstick? Is it like some sort of like weird like etchy kind of thing? Or are they just doing like back and forth like manzai, like book it kind of dialogue based kind of manzai kind of thing? What's happening there?
Yeah, there's some like back and forth dialogue stuff. There's definitely like some more like slapsticky type things, or more so misunderstandings and whatnot as well of Dada-san encountering like other characters, especially the second episode, just kind of like appear judging by appearances, and then characters turning out to be like completely different by nature. There's a
Cool.
decent amount of I guess like comedy with there's some comedy with like the ecchi type stuff with it, but it's not really I wouldn't say there's a lot of like comedic aspects to that.
I mean, it's also
But
not
so
really
far
like,
it's been pretty
it's not really
chill.
like an ecchi show. It's more kind of just like the mangaka is like, yeah, I mean, she's got her tits out, right?
Yeah, look at these boobs. Yeah, I don't really know how far that gets to, because I would say the other important thing to get into right now is there's at least one chapter, which was the second episode, that the author had released a what would you call it, like an R18 chapter of, that was unpublished. Because it was like unpublishable. I'm not gonna get into what happens, but it is just straight up like an H chapter at that point.
Oh, okay. So it's one of she's one of those authors, right? Where it's like, does he actually write, or does he actually draw full H like edo like manga? Do you know?
Yes. Yes. So the author
Okay.
is how do
So it's like it's a little bit more closer to something like a Makenki, right? Or like even something, I guess Shokugeki no Soma is almost, no, well, I guess Shokugeki no Soma doesn't have that much smut, but it's like Makenki would be probably the closest, right? Where it's like the author also draws each manga and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, and it which was pretty interesting. Like that was a pretty funny thing to find out. Because there's at least that one chapter which I thought was pretty funny. And then to see, and then there was also just he has straight up just drawn like full on like H mangas of like dojins of what is it, of like Dara-san and Callouts,
oh, that's fun.
and has
Yeah.
just been like, prefaced it with being like, yeah, this is
It's like
non-canon.
a what if.
This is
Yeah,
all
it's a what if.
non-canon. This has no actual like bearing on the series, but here I'm just drawing like fucking H dojins right now of my own characters. So,
Exactly.
which I think is fun. I think that's a fun little gimmick to get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then overall, I think the art has been fun. I think it's been decent style. I think as far as the audio visuals of the show itself, I think they're fine. They're pretty serviceable. There's nothing that would stand out as like bad to me, but there's nothing that's been like crazy either. So I think it gets the job done for the type of series that it's trying to be. I will say, I think a lot of the manga art, I think I appreciate a bit more. I think there's been like a lot of fun covers too, but I don't hate it either. What they did with the anime.
Okay.
I guess I can get into the voice cast too. The voice cast is pretty fun. Callouts in particular is being done by a relative newcomer because she has not had a ton of main roles. I would say probably one of her most notable main roles would have been as the like youngest brother in the Yuzuki siblings, where it was all of the brothers.
Yuzuki Sanchi? Yeah,
yeah. So I'd say that's like one of her biggest roles, and then also the pink girl from Milky Subway. So and yeah, she really doesn't have that many. I don't know if I guess maybe she's the voice of this character. Maybe she does a decent amount of other like gaming voices, because she is Hanaoka Yuzu in Blue Archive. So I would imagine maybe that carries over to other like game role stuff. But as far as like anime roles, her biggest anime role overall was just as one of the mains from what was this? Is this the heroine, the losing heroines? Is that what it was? Yeah, Too Many Losing Heroines. Yeah, she's just one of the girls from that. And that was like her biggest main role.
Okay.
And then other than that, like even beyond that, as far as anime go, her career only goes back to like 2024 anyway, as like supporting characters. Very, very small supporting characters, so there is that. But I think she does a good job. Kaoru has like a more nasally-ish voice, and it's definitely not something new for her, but it's been an enjoyable performance.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Hinata is who definitely is a little bit more notable. Most notable main character in Shu from Guilty Crown. You know?
Wow.
But no, it's also Yui in Yuri Yuri. So
okay.
pretty big. Was it? Oh yeah, and also Yui and Yushiki. So and amongst like a ton of other roles. So yeah. And she is
so
doing
a little bit more tomboyish role.
Yeah, and she is obviously for Hinata doing a very like tomboyish voice. And then we have what is it? Dara-san is being done by Mutsumi Tamura. I guess like recently would probably be best known for Kobayashi from Kobayashi-san. Amongst like a ton of other characters. And I believe the young voices for a lot of characters listed for her part as well. But also what do you call it? Kanamori Sayaka in Eizouken. So you can kind of get the gist of like what more
yeah.
Older, more like mature voice he's doing there.
Right.
And yeah, that's like kind of the mains. And overall, that's been good. The music's good. Like the background tracks. The opening and ED are pretty cute. I don't think they're particularly anything like super right home about, but the opening is cute enough just because it's all of the VAs doing like a CV voice opening song.
Mhm.
called Dara Dancing.
Like they're singing as their kind of
as their
character,
characters. Yeah,
Cast.
so that's been fun. And then Hinata Boka by Reiri as the and it's been fine. Like the visuals, I don't think are anything like particularly to write home about. I don't think they're gonna win any.
Yeah.
any
You know,
award.
you know, I apologize for the tangent, and I don't want this to go into like a full like spiral necessarily. But you know what that you mentioning that the opening was done by the voice actresses singing in their characters' voices. One thing that I thought of was one thing that I was suddenly reminded of was if if we were going to get an English dub for Infinite Stratos with all of, like the different accents, the nationality like accents or whatever, right? If you guys remember, um, Dark might not know this, but essentially, or not might not have watched Infinite Stratos, but essentially, they had an English dub for Infinite Stratos, and Infinite Stratos had all the girls come from like different nations, different countries, right? So for the English dub, they had the different girls doing all of the different like accents, right, in from their nationalities.
Or was
Like
it
the
good,
French girl would
Spire?
have,
I don't think it was pretty good, but
No, it's not.
I mean, I
but
guess I
I was
tried,
like,
right?
if they were gonna at least do that, then I wanted there to be an English version of the ending. Where all of the because
Bro.
the ending was essentially all of the girls were singing, all of the voice actresses were singing. Um the ending. I want an English version of that ending where all of the girls are singing in their accents. At
Spire,
least they could have
there's
given
only
that to
one
us.
person currently who can do that, and they did. Is she in the series? Let me ask. Dark, is
Mhm.
Sally Amaki in the series?
No,
No,
fortunately,
No, no,
so
and
no.
Sally Amaki is the only one who can do both
no.
English and Japanese.
Sugita and
Bro, the only person that can speak both
Hayami
languages on the
Saudi are
planet.
both playing minor supporting characters.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember? And was it Tomo-chan? Tomo-chan is a girl. She did both English and Japanese. But did they
Yeah,
pay her for both? Is the question.
probably not.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably not. But yeah, sorry for the tangent. But yeah, overall pretty solid. Then I think obviously there's the material stuffs, but overall pretty solid package. You would say?
Yeah. I would say it's pretty solid. It's I don't know. It's probably not gonna be like one of my favorite series, but I think it's pretty solid. If you're looking for just like like a very very laid back, chill series with like light smut, light etchy. I think this is
It's
definitely one to consider.
some
Yeah,
boobs,
boob.
some
Want to see
bazongers.
some
Yeah.
boob?
Near, have you noticed, Near? You're the only you're the only odd one out. All of us have old series come to life in the modern age, but what about you, Near? Technically, Darks counts because she's coming to the Reiwa era,
Yes,
and that's the
he
current era.
Nier has a series that was originally broadcasted in
Mine's like a
like year
modern.
3050. It's like
Mine's like a
it's like
modern classic, so it kind of counts.
no, no, no,
Bam.
no. Nier literally brought a series back from the future, like
Yeah.
a series that aliens will be watching like
That's true.
2000
That's
years
true.
from now, and then brought it back for us. So you'll see.
Damn, Near.
But
It's the recursion, Near. You went all the way around to the future and back. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's actually in the theme then.
But yeah, anyways, back to we'll cover it in a bit. But yeah, Dark.
Yeah, in
Do
a
you want to
second.
give
Yeah,
us a rough impression?
yeah. Like I said, you know, I would say I would give this probably like a 6.5, something around there as my ball rating, which is what it is
Yeah,
on ball, 6.65.
yeah,
I don't
pretty
think
good
there's
rating
anything like
for something a
particularly.
series like this. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because it's not like not amazing or anything, but it's fun
Mhm.
enough. So
Yeah. Okay. Again, thank you, Dark, for helping to cover this series. Again, this is Reiwa no Dara-san or Dara-san no Reiwa, a little bit more of a smut adjacent series. Episodic kind of, I want to say, pretty decent watch through if you just want to kind of like a lighthearted series, episodic, just comedy based around mainly. Hey, this girl kind of landed in modern Japan, and now she has to kind of figure out stuff. But then it also has bazonkers, all boobas. So if you want that sort of mix, please do check it out. All right, last and perhaps least,
Probably. Yeah.
near
Probably.
yeah. you have a certain series that have been making the
Another
rounds.
series that you
Like
took from me, Near. How dare you?
You offered this to
and when
me.
I know, but you also took
when
it
I
from
say
me.
when I say rounds on social media, I mean laps. I mean field and track. You
Yeah,
saw
dude,
like
that's
a
the
million tweets about
influence.
this.
That's the fucking worldwide influence that Gohans has. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So what new glorious Gohan's masterpiece are you going to review for us today?
Yeah. So I watched. Fuck, man, this one's a mouthful too, huh? Tsuihou sareta Tensei Juukishi wa game Chishiki de Musou suru. Fucking,
Yes.
I hate it,
I think the
skyrocks.
shortened version is just Juukishi, right?
Yeah,
Juukishi.
yeah. Also
Heavy
known
Knight.
as
Yep.
the Exiled Heavy Knight knows how to game the system. Um,
Yep.
which it's an isekai title. Um, and yeah, this is an isekai series from Gohans.
Yeah.
Goat-hands.
By the way,
This is
the isekai part is not what we're going to be discussing.
Near, let's change that.
It's
Near,
just
let's change that. This is an isekai series. What did you say? What did you say?
an isekai series by Gohans.
I will say an isekai series produced by Gohans. Gohans did not make this series.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's true for most anime, but yeah. So yeah, the basic premise is it's an isekai series. So Tosa's gonna have to, I guess,
Oh, you want me to go over it?
well,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to, I guess, kind of explain some of this because the
All right.
series. I don't know if you watched the first episode at all. But I'll just go over the first episode and then you can kind of
All
fill
right.
in the blanks. So the first episode starts off with a 5-minute just random montage of action sequences that apparently have no correlation with anything that's happening in the story.
And that's already where we got to the problem with this series. Jeez. Like,
So yeah, it just shows the characters kind of just like fighting a bunch of shit with no rhyme or reason, and it certainly happens. And then there's a random scene where the main character is a little boy, and he's reading a book, and he says some bullshit, and then the opening happens, which I'll get into the opening later, but then it kind of just cuts straight to the main character kind of receiving his class, right?
That's like an RPG.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is a series with skills and stats and
it's
classes and skill trees and
it's
yeah.
it's
Okay.
don't you know? It's a VR world.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. So he's receiving his class, and as he's receiving his class, the main character goes, "Wait a minute. This world is just like that video game I used to play. I must have been
Yeah.
reincarnated." So I don't know if the source material, which by the way, this
Yeah.
is apparently a web manga original. I don't know if the source material does the same, where it just like doesn't show the original main character's life. It doesn't show him like dying and reincarnating or whatever. And it kind of just immediately jumps into this like in media res kind of, oh, I'm receiving my class and I guess I'm reincarnated kind of thing. But it's a bit jarring, to be sure, to kind of just be like, oh, by the way,
Do you love the name of the world, Near?
I don't even remember what it was. It's so
Magic
generic.
World.
Yeah, it's just like Magic and Sword World or something. And so yeah, he's receiving his class, and he's like, "Man, I sure hope I get my favorite class, the Heavy Knight." Um, and sure enough, he gets his favorite class, the Heavy Knight, and he goes, "Look, Dad, I got my favorite class, the Heavy Knight." And his dad goes, "What the fuck? This is the worst news I could have possibly received ever." And he beats the fuck out of him. And basically disowns him and exiles him from the family. And so the main character is like, "Damn,
Okay.
that sucks."
That's
And
why he's the
then
exiled Heavy Knight.
yeah, and then this other character comes in. What the fuck's her name? Oh yeah, Malice. Her name's Malice. Even though on Mall it says Maris, it's Malice. She comes in, and she's like, "Okay, I want my class now." And she gets forget what it's even called, like Master Swordsman or some shit.
Yep.
And the lore dude is like, awesome, that's so cool. You're my daughter now. And
Because she's from the Branch family.
yeah, she's like some offshoot family.
Yeah.
And so he goes,
Yeah.
you're my daughter now. And you're no longer my son. And if you use the family name, I'll fucking kill you, man. I will kill you dead. And so that's basically the premise. Because in this world, apparently defensive
It is a
classes
dungeon
are
crawl?
like,
Or what?
yeah.
Is it like a dungeon crawl? Okay.
So there's 2 episodes out.
It's pretty much an MMO.
I get
Nerd,
2
did you
helpings.
get
Okay,
both?
okay.
All right.
Yeah, I got 2 helpings of this. And it's the main, I guess, kind of like structure is basically him being like, damn, I guess nobody fucks with defensive classes in this world. I guess I'll just level on my own, right? And it kind of goes through the kind of like game mechanics and process of like leveling and his skill tree. And it is pretty detailed in like how in depth it goes into in like him actually like making his build and like how the class actually works. And talking about why it's like because the class that he has is like it's considered weak, right? Because it doesn't have offensive skills, right? It's like a tank, right?
Yeah.
And so it excels in like group content where you can pull the enemy's aggro, and then everybody else is supposed to deal damage, right? But I guess in this world, like offensive classes are seen as just better because you can level faster solo, and it's just like easier to be an adventurer when you're like an offensive class. And so he's obviously finding it hard to get a party, and so he's kind of just like, well, fuck it, man, I'll just go on my own because leveling on your own is faster anyway because you don't have to share XP in a party, right? So he has to work his build in a way to where he can be like a solo character basically and still dish out damage, right? And so basically the first skill that he gets is like I forget what they call it. It's like reflecting Aegis or something.
That's what they call it?
Yeah.
Not
Like
Rampart
that.
Reflection?
Yeah, I think that's it actually. Rampart Reflection. Reflecting something, right? But it's basically this big wall he puts up, right? And any monster that attacks it, it gets like
it's just reflect, dude.
Yeah, it's basically, but it's like it's got some stipulation to it to where like his defense has to be higher than the monster's attack stat. Like his defense stat has to be higher than the monster's attack stat. Otherwise, the monster will break through the reflection and just deal
In
damage.
Yu-Gi-Oh terms, it's basically when your defense points are higher than the attacker's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Or like
attack
Pokemon,
and
it's
the
like
difference
guillotine
is
level
dealt to you as
differences.
damage.
Yeah, and so if the monster's attack stat is lower than his defense stat, like the damage gets reflected, and that's basically like early on, that's like his only way of like dealing damage, right? And so the first episode is basically the initial setup, and then the second episode is kind of him working out some of his early levels.
Yeah, I will say I rewatched the first 5 minutes. What are they doing?
I
What
have
are they
no
doing,
idea, man.
Why
I
are
don't
they
know what.
spoiling like half this, like almost every major fight in the series in the first 5 minutes? What the heck is this animation?
Yeah, the second episode is like him kind of like farming mobs, because he comes across this like frog thing. I think they're called like Rabas, and he like basically one shots it with his reflecting, right? And then this other adventurer, who I guess he's like he's a more offensive class, right? He like the other dude, I forget what the Ares, the dude that he has to help in the forest or whatever. He comes running and he's like, "Oh, I'm being chased by all these mobs, right? These like fucking level 1 mobs." And he's like, "I can't handle these on my own." And the main character's like, "Don't worry, I got this." And he just like casts the reflecting and he takes out a whole mob. Because I guess all the mobs attacking at the same time don't matter. It's just like a stat check kind of thing. So he wipes them all out in one move, and then the dude's like, "Whoa, you're like so super cool and awesome, man. You want to party up?" And the main character's like, "No, not really." Which I don't know why he doesn't.
Is that
But,
is that because he's like introverted or like what?
No, it's because
he explains in his like in his inner monologue, he's like, I don't want to share XP, right? Like I need to level up fast. I need to level up solo and then get all
Oh,
XP,
okay, okay,
right?
okay.
because he's his
Okay.
class sucks, so he has to
Yes,
go in a
because like
certain route.
because he talks about like in his experience, when he was like alive and not Iskai'd, and he played the game. I guess like the Heavy Knight class excels the most at high level, right? Once it's good, it's like it's full kit, right? And right now
Yeah.
when he's low level, like he doesn't really have much to handle stuff, and so he needs to level up like as fast as possible. And I was thinking, like when I heard that, I was like, why wouldn't you just like, why doesn't everybody just power level in this universe? I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
like
I don't know.
Nier,
Because
they
if
don't
you
know how to
die, you're
game the
killed.
system like he does. Yeah,
True, I guess. Yeah.
he doesn't have supreme knowledge of Magic World
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he does.
or like his class is one of the only ones with like stupid level restrictions, and
I
then
don't
everybody
know.
else is just like, yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
got
it's
level one
it's more
skill.
like
Fuck
it's
you.
because he's called a defective class for a reason because no one knows what his like no one knows the true abilities of his class.
Yeah, it seems like nobody in this world like reads the like the text on their skills. Like nobody actually reads what their skills do. And so people are kind of just like, oh, if your skill doesn't deal direct damage, then it sucks, right?
Mm.
So not the brightest universe to be in, I guess, but yeah. So and then after he kills the mob, they get ambushed by like a spider, right? And the spider thing is like twice his level.
It's level
like
16.
Yeah, it's like level 16, and like after he kills the mob, he's like level 8, which is pretty fast. I don't know what the level cap in this is, but like he kills like 10 things, and he's already level 8, which is kind of crazy.
Well, he was mobbing Nier, and it was more than 10. That's like
I mean, I
a lot.
guess, but yeah, it's just like damn, bro. Because I think he kills one, and he gets to level 2, and then he kills the mob, and he's like level 8, and it's like, aren't these like level 1 mobs? You'd think the XP
Aren't these level 2 mobs? I think
I
they're
don't
level
know,
2, right?
but you'd think the XP fall off would be kind of crazy. But anyway,
So essentially, what we get from this is that the author himself, while he is into like otaku works, maybe isekai works, he is not himself a gamer.
I think he is because they do go pretty decently into like the
Yeah,
intricacies
there's
of
a
the
lot
skills and
of
stuff.
there's
It's
a
just
lot
that,
of intricacies of the gaming
yeah, I
world.
think some of it is kind of glossed over. Just be like, yeah, he's level 8 now, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they fight the spider, and the adventurer dude is like, dude, that thing's way over leveled than us. We gotta get the fuck out of here, right? And he's like, I'll hold it off while you run, right? And the main character's like, no, man, I got this. I got this. And so he devises this strategy where like, he, because he can still really only deal damage with his like reflect skill. But obviously the spider is over leveled, so it's got a higher attack stat than his defense, right?
Mhm.
But I guess his class has like a passive to where if he hits something with an attack, then it lowers the enemy's attack.
Nier,
Right?
didn't you watch? He leveled up. He used the skill points he leveled up
Yeah,
into his
yeah,
passive, and then he got the new skill.
yeah.
He got disarm.
And so his strategy is kind of just like land like a simple blow, and then the spider's attack stat will be lowered, and then he can reflect, right?
Mhm.
And then they do some shit where the spider tries to like cast some spells or something, and it like lowers this. It like, I guess for some reason creatures in this world have like set amounts of MP,
Yeah,
which doesn't make too
that's
much
part of
sense
the.
to me.
Well,
But
that's part of the gaming stuff, Nier.
yeah,
He used a skill that costs too much MP, so he can't use his skill again. I'm like,
yeah.
it's a bit.
It's like
It doesn't
playing
like
Pokemon where it's like they run out of moves, start
kind
struggling.
of, I guess,
It's a
but
bit of game mechanic stuff, but it's like,
yeah, like if you
it's
look
kind
at
of an
it,
ass pull if he's like
yeah,
if he
if you
can't
look
use
at
it
it in
after
the
only one
sense,
use. Yeah.
because if you look at it in the sense of like this is an MMO, right? It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense for a mob to be only able to cast like a spell one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
That's why I say it's an asshole in a way.
yeah. But you know, it's like whatever, right? Game mechanic stuff. And so you know he ends up pulling it off, and you know he fucking solos this level 16 spider.
Oh yeah. I watched it. Poison Beam costs 7 MP. Flaming Claw is 5, but he only has 11 MP. So you can only use one after Poison Beam. He can't use Flaming Claw, and I'm like, okay, that's exactly how it was in the manga too.
Yeah, it's kind of doesn't
like
make sense.
Game mechanics, you know.
But
So like I said, like it should have given him more MP than that, but
yeah,
for a level 16 too.
But yeah, so he does that, and then he gets like all these magic stones, and they don't really explain what the magic stones are for. I thought they were like enchantment stones that you'd like slot into your like armor or something. But he goes back and returns to the guild and registers with the guild, and then everyone in the guild is like, "Dude, you're a defensive class. You're fucking stupid and dumb." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna turn in all these magic stones." And then everyone in the guild is like, "Dude, what? Where'd you get all those magic stones?" And he's like, "I farmed them solo." And then that's kind of like that's second episode.
Leveling. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's an isekai series. It's got sad stuff. I feel like it. Again, I don't watch isekai very much. But I feel like this one is a bit more detailed and a bit more consistent, even if some of the stuff doesn't really
how
make
is it
sense.
detailed there? Is it Go Hands?
Well, I mean, in
Got
terms
that
of like
Go Hands polish on it.
I mean, in terms of like the stat stuff, right? Like it goes into a bit more
keep talking
detail.
about the story for a bit.
Yeah, it goes into a
God,
bit
this
more
ending's
detail and
so
stuff
bad.
than just being like fucking Kirito just being like, huh, I regen more HP than you deal damage, and it's just like, okay, you know, he's at least talking about the like functionality of his skills and shit, and yeah, like the stat interactions and stuff. So it's a bit more interesting, I guess. But I don't really know. I don't really know what the gold standard is for these series. I feel like it's kind of like bare minimum.
Now let's talk about the real meat of this series, Near. Let's go on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So audiovisuals.
So now that the story part is over.
I will say though, pretty much Near, the anime is pretty much 1-to-1 to the manga.
Right.
Like even has the same the same like panels and shots, except for the additional stuff. I will say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it have the? I mean, I'll
the
get
camera,
to it.
all the cameras.
Yeah. Does it have the underground? Does it have the underground shot?
Yeah.
That shit was insane.
Oh my God.
So yeah, audiovisuals. Again, this is a Go Hands series, so it looks psychotic, and it's animated in a way that is genuinely insane. This is not a compliment, by the way.
Like how could really why would you spoil the most of the fights in the series in the first 5 minutes? That's like one of the most egregious things I can't get over right now.
Yeah, I don't know what they're.
Can I also say that before we start our ritual 3 hours of ragging on Go Hands, some people on Twitter were like doing this weird fight where it was like they're like, oh, at least Go Hands, it doesn't just shit the bed like how UFO table does with their average Demon Slayer thing. And
okay, first of all, they do
like
their whole Gohan's whole thing is basically like that intro to the fucking Infinity Castle movie or whatever. Where it's just like glass is shattering and you're like fucking flying around in a circle around a beaker. It's like, yeah, that looked like shit when UFO Table did it, and guess what? It's like everything Go Hands
It looks even worse when Go Hands does it. So
yeah, even if UFO Table like shit to bed at times with Demon Slayer, that doesn't make Gohan's good, and vice versa. So it's like, what are you guys doing, man? Like, you guys gotta lock in.
Yeah.
But sorry, I apologize. But yeah, go
So
on.
yeah, if you've watched the Gohan series, you kind of know what you're getting into. With this, that is, if assuming the Gohan series that you've watched is anything like other than Marduk Scramble, because Marduk Scramble is like good actually.
Maybe Capellion? Maybe Capellion, except Capellion
Yeah,
wasn't that
yeah,
good.
yeah, maybe. But basically everything after K, right? Is kind of
Yeah.
just like
And K Project was like one of the progenitors of the current Gohan kind of I want to say phenomenon, charitably.
yeah,
But
yeah,
K Project was also like it was quote unquote tolerable because it was aimless. K Project was also very aimless, and it was mostly just like hot boys just walking at each other, right?
yeah.
And that allowed for
Shooting flames.
Gohan's style to be much more okay than and like there was that green guy in a wheelchair that like had that battle where he was like shooting through a warehouse and all that shit. Like it's like full of scenes like that. And that's much more tolerable than whatever this is, where this actually has like a structured like set of scenes that it needs to go through. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So where do I even start? So the main thing that I guess kind of strikes you when you watch this series is and I'm going to talk about this before I talk about like the actual animation is the backgrounds of this series. So the backgrounds of this series are like this very strange like photo real with like a filter over it kind of thing.
Do you think it's supposed
handshakers,
to emulate?
handshakers.
Do you think it's supposed to emulate? Oh, this is a VR world. It's an isekai.
I
Kinda thing.
guess yeah, I think it's supposed to be like
Or
emulating like
it's
3D
supposed to be like
graphics
a
kind of thing.
camera going into like a VR world kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
I mean
it's like you're in the world or
they
whatever.
pull like actual like 3D spaces and stuff with this as well, which is even
Mhm.
more jarring. But like it is kind of like handshakers and to a similar extent, what the fuck was the magical girl one called?
Lumiere?
Momentary Lily.
Oh,
Oh
Momentary
yeah,
Lily.
that one.
That's one
I'm
it's
thinking
called.
something.
oh my God, momentary
And
Lily.
also I will say this does I covered this one as well, but like the girl I like forgot her glasses. I think like visually, like
Yes.
visually speaking, like in terms of storyboarded animating, stuff like that. I think this series shares the most DNA with the girl I like with glasses, right? Um,
Okay.
Too much hair,
and
Aaron. Because
yeah, it's mostly the hair, but it's also like the backgrounds and stuff, and like the weird use of like real footage type stuff with like a filter on it. Um, the Glasses series did that a lot. It was very jarring then. Also the angles, the angles that just make no sense. The Glasses series did that a lot too. I feel like something like Momentary Lily, although I didn't watch, I couldn't stomach very much Momentary Lily, so I didn't watch it that much to see. But yeah, I feel like this shares
oh,
the most
I
with
will
Glasses
say I
series.
the only Gohan series I watched was the Masterful Cat one, and even that one had a
Yeah, that one
That
was
one was like
pretty. That one was pretty tame, all
normal
things considered.
yeah.
amongst. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was normal, but it was for Gohan standards.
Did
It
you
was
say
pretty.
Gohan's near?
I did, dude. I did. They're the goat, bro.
Damn.
He can't help
Um,
himself. He can't. The fan inside of him is just
but yeah,
rising.
this series has this very strange kind of like filter over it. And the the biggest issue with the backgrounds, right, being this kind of photoreal, like very detailed um, backdrop with like a filter on it, is it creates a lot of visual noise, um, even before the frame starts moving, right? And
Mhm.
as we know with Gohan series, the frame is always moving, right? So there really are not very many static backgrounds in this series, right?
Uh-huh.
And so you have the issue where the background is very busy, right? The background is also moving. And now you also have Gohan's animators animating every single frame and every single jostle of a
Getting
character's
whipped.
hair
Getting
and every single like plate of armor on these characters. That's another issue, is these characters
you
are
put through
armored
the
as
grind
well.
grinder. Yeah.
So there's even more lines on them than usual. And it just creates this like it is a mess when this series is moving, like moving, like action wise. This like it is like fucking.
It's
It
visual
feels like
noise.
watching a like a YouTube video at 144p, right? Like even
Yeah,
when
it's.
yeah, like
I say it's visual noise. It's like, what is happening here?
yeah, it's really hard to follow. And I don't really like using the term, even in the context of Gohan's, right? And this term's been around for a really long time, right? The term of over animation, right? Where people will say like, oh, there's like too many moving parts in a scene or whatever, and it creates like just like this issue where essentially like you don't need to be doing all that, right? This character doesn't need to be moving this way, or the camera doesn't need to be moving this way. But this series is definitely like kind of like the crystallization of like over animation, where there will be a scene that's very simple, a character just like walking down a hallway, or just talking, like turning around and talking to somebody, and the camera is whipping around, the camera's going under the earth. There's a shot in the first episode where the like antagonist chick or whatever, Malice, she's walking into the chamber hall, and the camera's whipping around her, and for whatever reason the camera decides to go underground, under like the tiled floor.
They have to show off the hair near all the hair.
And it's like it overlays this grid pattern onto the frame on top of everything else that's moving, because again the camera is moving, like panning around the character as she's walking around all of these other like the crowd behind her and shit like that, and it's got this grid overlaid onto it to demonstrate that, like, by the way, the camera's under the floor right now, and it's moving alongside her with her steps. But regardless of the amount of visual noise that the scene is also creating, I was just really curious, and I went frame by frame as the camera pans under the ground, and the way the grid pattern scrolls along with her steps is not synced, right? So she is moving at a different speed than the quote unquote ground is, right?
Yeah.
And so it creates just like an even like further like almost like disconnect in like what you're like seeing and like supposed to be seeing. It's just, it feels like everything is kind of like disconnected pieces that are not moving in sync. And it's very disorienting.
Right.
So that's an issue.
If somebody brought up a discussion that became a little bit bigger, where it was like the initial comment was just like you can hear like the animators like screaming in pain as they have to draw this, and they
Yeah,
were
sure.
kind of squarely putting it on the fault of the blame on sort of the direction as well as kind of the initial script writing, storyboarding kind of crew, right? Because they were the ones kind of directing, hey, the anime should draw all this weird crap, right? And then some other people were saying that, oh no, it's actually if you give the animators too much free rein, like this is the sort of like uncontrolled, like uncontrolled, I want to say, yeah, quality that you get. And I was wondering where you kind of fell upon those lines, because my opinion is that it's definitely, I think, more the storyboarders' fault, because the animators, if like animators are bad, there are definitely like a different set of problems that arise, but it's not the types of problems that you see in this series. In this series, like all the weird crap that happens is pretty obviously the problem with like the initial storyboard and perspective like setup design, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I would say if you look at the staff for this series, this is directed and storyboarded by Suzuki Shingo. And if you don't know, Suzuki Shingo is basically the guy that's behind pretty much like everything Gohan's makes, right? Like he directs pretty much everything Gohan's makes.
All of the infamous works that you can think of, yeah.
Yeah. However, he doesn't storyboard everything Gohan's makes, right? And if you look at his storyboarding credits, you will kind of see a pattern of like the things that he's storyboarding are kind of like the things that are really fucked up at Gohan's, right?
Yeah. The infamous like meme clips are pretty much like all of his stuff.
Yeah. So I would say Gohan's animators are pretty good for the most part, right? Obviously,
They're
there's
doing their
some
best. They're doing their best.
there's some like quality moments here and there that are kind of just like, man, you guys really phone this in. But at the end of the day, it's like when you're working on a project under Gohan's, it's like, can you really blame them? You know what I mean? Like when you're handed the most psychotic storyboard you've ever seen in your entire life, it's like there's really only so much that you can do before it's kind of just like, all right, man, like I just got to get this done, you know? Like I just got to get this shipped and out the door. So
Oh my god.
and I think the general overall like animation quality within this series it's pretty solid, right? Like I said, the character models in this, they're quite detailed.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of moving parts, right? There's hair that's flowing. Even the main character who's got, you know, he's got quite short hair. But his hair is just like always moving, and they never like, I don't know if it's like uh Shingo's like directive, like overhead fucking, you know, motto where like the character's hair never like it can never lose like lines. You know what I mean? Like it always needs all of the lines.
Yeah.
So like that's gonna take up a lot of time, right? And you know, the animation overall looks pretty fluid, right? You know, despite the difficulty in following a lot of these scenes, you know, it does flow, right? It's not like completely incoherent, right? You can see that they are trying to make it
cluttered.
Yeah, they're trying to make it followable, but it's just like the aesthetics of the series are just kind of fighting against them. So I think it is mostly the director and storyboarding. You know, some of it's probably the coloring, some of it's probably the background artist. You know, it's a combination of things. But I think at the end of the day, the reason it looks like that is the directing and storyboarding, right? I don't think it's
somebody
really
actually also
necessarily a fault of the
mentioned
animators. But yeah.
somebody actually also mentioned this is similar, going along the lines of what you just mentioned about
Hello?
somebody tweeted out this screenshot of them like downloading anime or whatever on page, and some regular like anime episode was like 200 something megabytes, right? And then and then this series was 400 plus megabytes. It was exactly like twice as much in size.
And I mean, I think
And
a lot of
presumably,
that is probably from the backgrounds, to be honest. Yeah, not even so much
yeah.
the detail and like the animation. It's just like there's so much little like bits and fucking like brick and you know just like details and especially the trees where it's like every single leaf is fucking rendered like look at this um like this background shot and tell me that this isn't just like complete like visual clusterfuck of noise. You know what I mean? And like
Bro,
you'll
there's
get
so
like
much rendered. What?
yeah, you'll get like shit like this, and it's like the camera will be panning like through the trees and shit. Like this will be like
Do you know?
a
Do you know? Do
3D
you know what this
environment.
reminds me of? This reminds me of like how um like back in the days, like we don't really do this anymore,
The
but
heavily
they
modded
have those like
Morrowind. What this is.
no, yeah, I mean stuff like that. But it's like those comparison shots of like if you use this graphic card versus this graphic card, look
Oh
at
yeah, yeah,
Crisis
yeah.
3 or
The
what you know what I mean?
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
the
the Crisis
render
3
test
like
or whatever.
comparisons, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It kind of looks like those.
You get like a sick ass
Um,
like
Uh,
fucking drum track playing while the camera flies through this.
what
exactly.
what it kind of reminded me of actually is like you do you remember Grimgar?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So this kind of like background style reminded me to like if Gohans looked at Grimgar and were like we could do that.
That's a
And it,
good example to follow.
yeah, they just like completely fucked it up, you know. But yeah, it's like visually it is just like a complete clusterfuck. I don't think it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
necessarily like I think it could look decent. You know what I mean? Like the designs are okay.
They just need
The
to not storyboard like that. Just
yeah,
like any
yeah,
of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They need to, you know what needs to happen? They need to be like, um, they are like the one studio that actually needs to go full TQ and just be like, we're not having storyboarders or any of these guys. We're just letting
Yeah,
the
we just
animators like
ball. We
try
just
it for,
ball.
I think that extreme is almost better than whatever this extreme is. And also like the people who justify, like keep trying to justify this on Twitter are just like, excuse me, especially like some of the Japanese people, although a lot of Japanese people actually also dislike this. But some of the people who are trying to justify this are like, excuse me, if you keep complaining about Gohans like this, all you're doing is just paving the way for us to go back into like 7-frame static PowerPoint animation battle scenes. And it's like, you realize there has to be like a middle ground, right? Like it's not like
I mean,
we
it's also
either
like
get PowerPoint.
we are not in the era right now where that is happening. You know what I mean? Like Mappa,
Yeah, yeah,
Science Saru, you know, Madhouse when they give a fuck, like they come out and they come out swinging, right? And we even have
yeah,
fucking Side Games
exactly.
pictures on the field now too, right? Where it's like,
Hmm.
you know, these are studios that are um like really showing like the limits of animation. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
to sit there and be like, yeah, we're in an animation industry where Gohans is like pushing the envelope, and nobody else is doing it. And if you criticize Gohans, then we're somehow going back to like the status quo of like 2008. It's like no, it's just not happening. You know what I mean? Um, and I talked about this um like I did touch on this a little bit when I covered Fate, right? When I talked about, you know, the rising kind of standards that the viewer has for animation quality going forward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
To
yeah.
where,
And
you know,
especially after Orange too.
back when K stuff like K Project and maybe even to a slightly lesser degree, like something like Handshakers, like back when those were coming out, you know, you could look at like what Gohan's was doing and kind of be like, oh, that's like novel. You know, they're kind of like they're trying something different. They're trying something new, and you know, it is flashy. But it's like nowadays, you know, when you look at like what Mappa's doing with certain episodes of something like Jujutsu Kaisen, which is just like this is a mainstream shonen series, right? And it is some of the best looking animation we've had in years, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's kind of hard to look at what Gohan's is doing and not kind of just like turning your nose up at it, you know? Um,
Hmm.
Especially with art style decisions like this, storyboarding decisions like this, where it's just like truly bizarre, right? Like you can watch it and be like, that's funny, but it's not really funny in a good way. You know what I mean? It's not really entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also
one of the main
the
problems I have is like literally they're introducing the main female lead like way too early. I guess maybe get like the main female lead is basically the clown girl, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, oh, she's here for episode 1, and then oh, she's here again, episode 2. But she's also the only person in the ED. I seen that ED near. It's horrendous. What is
Yeah.
that?
I'll talk about it.
And it's like I just and like I said earlier, like you said earlier, the 5 minutes beginning, right? We're gonna show off all the major battles in this series,
I
and it's
really
like
don't. I really don't understand what
I don't
the.
understand that either.
Yeah, like the direct. I don't understand what the
and apparently
directorial
they took too
meeting
much time
was
with
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Basically,
this. It's like this 5-minute segment where it's just like, hey, look at this
it's
fight. Hey, look at
major
this other fight.
battles.
Hey, look at this
Yeah,
other fight.
it's literally most of the major battles in
And
the
yeah, like
series.
one of the fights is like the main character against Malice, the black haired girl.
Yeah,
Where it's like, okay, it's like this is happening at the very beginning of the series, right? And I'm looking at this like, are these things that have already happened, or are
it's
things
not.
that are
These
going
are
to
way.
happen?
These are
Like,
later.
yeah, it's so bizarre. I really don't understand what the intent.
I mean,
for
and
that
at the rate the
was,
series is
outside of
going, the clown girl might only appear in episode maybe 3 or 4, depending on how the raid goes, like how quickly
well,
it goes the raid.
this is another
And
detail
it's
I
like,
forgot to mention. This is a 26 episode series.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
This is
So
26 episode
yeah, this is
series? Where did they get
26
all this
episodes long.
money?
You
I
can
don't know.
afford you
Where
can
did they
afford
get
to
all
not
this
use
money?
Roosh this early if it's 26 episodes. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm not really sure where Gohans
Believable.
is getting this money. Because I mean they've pissed away money before, right? Like we got how many episodes was? Yeah. So Momentary Lily was 13, and then I had like the extra like epilogue kind of thing. When was the last time Gohans did like more than 2 cores? Was it like W's or whatever?
Are you talking about like more than 2 seasons period, or are you talking about like a season that had like more than 12 episodes or whatever?
Yeah.
What-
Like 12 or 13.
Um,
It's been a while,
I
right?
don't
Because
even. Did Seitokai Yakutomo have that?
Are we counting
No, I
like the
forget.
billions of OVAs that had? Wait, that
No.
was Gohan's?
No.
Damn. They really didn't want
Yeah,
to
I
do it
don't
like more
remember
than season 3.
actually.
Yeah, like
I don't think they've almost ever done like.
yeah. So
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know where.
Yeah, okay. Literally one of their like random like shorts that they did like in when they first started out alongside Princess Lover, they did 26, but that was like a short. Other than that,
Yeah.
they've almost always done 12 or 13.
Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't know who's funding this. I don't know who's behind this.
There's
It's got a fuckload of
no way
producers,
that
right? But like,
there has to be like after this, if we don't get like posthumous like in or not posthumous, but in 27, 28, something like some corruption incident is gonna rock Gohan, and then afterwards we're just gonna how it's like because they also had that like Tokyo Babylon incident, where they like did like tracing kind of stuff.
yeah.
But like in 2 years they're gonna get rocked, and then the autopsy is just gonna be like, yeah, they got paid by Cool Japan, like $20 billion to do Juukishi, but in
I mean,
exchange, like
they're
all
getting
the
bought out, right? So,
yeah.
but I
By
don't
like
know. I
Unext or
mean, this
whatever
was
they're doing like a merger.
definitely, yeah, but this was definitely like in production way before that was even sealed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
They
yeah,
like they got paid like 20 billion, but in exchange, like all the animators just had to get down on their knees and start slopping. Yeah,
yeah,
slobbering. Yeah, it's like there has to be some crazy corruption shit somewhere, I think. But
but yeah,
yeah,
it's a mess, for sure. OPED, the OP is Awake by Spy Air. If you've heard Spy Air, you probably know what kind of song it is. It's by rock. It's. I'm not a fan of Spy Air. I'm gonna be straight up. But this song is pretty bad, even for Spy Air standards. It kind of sounds like something you would hear in like a 2008 like Bleach game opening. And I use that. I say that derogatorily. It's not great. The visuals are also. I mean, they're a mess. It has this. There's there's this one really weird cut where he's like sliding back, I guess from like deflecting a blow or something, but he's sliding back through like a hallway, and then like the
Like
scenery of the
moonwalking? What are you
hallway.
talking about?
He's like he's like getting slid back from like blocking a blow or something, right?
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay.
But like the background of the hallway like changes 3 times. Like he's sliding back between like 3 different hallways, and it's just kind of just like, what? Like why? Um, yeah. I mean, the OP is kind of just like a bunch of stuff happening, a bunch of bullshit going on. And it's butt rock, so whatever. The ED is, I guess, a little bit more interesting, you know. The song is level 1 Shokugyo Ningen by Riona. And the song isn't like terrible. It's okay. It's a bit more you know, chill, kind of weird like EDM thing going on. But the visuals are very strange, even by Gohan standards. It's like this underwater kind of trippy, like almost like a visualizer thing going on with the clown girl, where a chunk of it is kind of her just like sitting at a table, like drinking tea, and like watching like the main character on like a TV, which I don't really know what's going on there. And then the
Okay.
rest of it is kind of just like her doing a walk sequence, like various walk sequences down like a weird like highlighted street. It's the one. It's the shot I linked earlier with the cinematic parallels between the Glasses series, where they have the weird fucked up shot where her foot takes up like 60% of the frame. And yeah, it's just kind of weird. It's very bizarre. She just does like a series of various walk cycles. And
For some reason, is she just walking? I'm like, oh, okay, that's it.
yeah. It's a bit odd. I don't know if it's necessarily like bad, but it's just strange.
It's just
And there's
nothing.
also a shot at the very end that seems to heavily imply that the clown girl is not wearing panties.
It's
What? Okay.
she's just crossing her legs, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can basically see pretty much right up that thing.
Right up the alley. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you know, there's that. Yeah. Otherwise, it's nothing too stand out. Yeah. Interesting showing from Gohans for sure. I don't know what else to say. It's a mess visually.
It's a mess.
It's got some weird things going on directorially, and
Yeah, like for the storyboards and like the pacing is fine, except for the
yeah, I think
additional stuff.
pacing wise,
It's literally, like I
the
said,
story is okay.
it's
The
pretty
way
much a
it's
recreation of the manga, like story-wise, but
the way it's
that's just
presented is fine. I think the story itself is okay. Again, I don't watch very many of these Isekai series. It seems okay for one of these. Kind of like more game mechanic focused. You know, Isekai series. You know, it's like I would assume it gets into it later, but right now it's not like it's not really hammering home the whole thing where it's like, oh, my class is like scorned, but you know, it's actually the most OP thing ever. It is kind of like, you know, at least for right now, it is very much like, yeah, like I actually have to like think about how to use my class because it's like a high skill ceiling kind of thing, which is, you know, a bit more interesting than just like, oh, my class isn't very popular, but it actually it just one shots everything. Even if like at the end of the day, like if you want to reduce it down to pure like components, that is kind of what the main character is doing. It's still like presented in a way that's a bit more interesting, right? But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about this series.
So, what rating, what mal rating would you give this? And I will have to warn you that this has Heavy
Yeah.
Knight has received a glorious 7.04
Yeah, this is somehow
rating on
sitting at
Mal
a
because
7.0 on Mal.
this is
Which
higher than I think both Tetsunabe and Danko. I forget, is it higher than Reiwa? It might be higher than Reiwa.
I think
Wow,
it
yeah,
is.
you got
Yeah.
the highest series.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have the highest
I
rated
got the
series.
best. I got the
this
best show of
one.
the season, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how this has gotten that high. I maybe like Isekai fans are just they're just that willing to like just consume anything. That they don't really like think about what is on their screen. I would probably what would I give this? I'd probably give this like what did I give Momentary Lily? I gave Momentary Lily like a fucking 1 or some shit, didn't I? I
You
hated
get
that.
a
I
pretty
think
low
I think I
ratings.
hated that series.
Well, the additional one was also the additional problem was also that it came off the
The
back
story
of
was also just dog shit.
yeah, the
For
story
Momentary
was
Lily,
bad,
so.
and it also had just come off the back of. It wasn't like inspired by, I don't think, but it came just a couple of seasons after, I think, or at most a year after Assault Lily, right, by Shaft,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
was like, okay, like we need to stop this kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't hate this nearly as much as that. Like I said, I think the story is okay. I'd probably give this like a 4.5. I think it's watchable.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, definitely below
like
average.
but
That's
like
what you're
just
saying.
barely. Yeah, like I think the
Yeah.
visuals. I think if, for example, what the fuck's his name? Shingo. Like I think if
Yes.
he after these first 2 episodes kind of like lets somebody else storyboard, and he's kind of just like in the director's seat. Like I think
Yeah,
this
vaguely waving his hands.
They,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they pretty much need to course correct and be like, all right, you've had your fun now, get back on track.
like I think
You
this
don't need to
will
show
improve.
anymore.
Because I know Shingo, he did storyboarding for the first, I think it was like 4 episodes of the Glasses series, and then I think the last like 3 or 4 episodes as well. And like the start of that series was schizophrenic, right? But then like it kind of like mellowed out, right? So
Yeah.
I think if this does something similar where he's storyboarding for the start of the series and then he hands it off to somebody else, and it kind of mellows out, I think this will get like drastically better. It'll still be like visually very noisy. I don't think.
But it'll recover. It'll
Yeah,
recover.
I think it
little
will
bit.
be infinitely more easy to watch. But yeah, I think that would maybe take it from where I have it right now as at a 4.5 to like a 5. To be-
Yeah.
it's not
Actually,
it's not much higher, but like it's like middle of the road type shit.
Can I ask something though? This quick question. I'm sure we'll revisit this question again once we get to the other review. But which in your mind is more egregious right now? Heavy Knight being rated 7.04 on Mal, or Yanineko at 7.11 on
Honestly, I
Oh yeah,
expect
Neil, you gonna cover that
Yanni Neko to
one?
be
I
higher.
believe in you.
I'm not gonna cover Yanni Neko, bro.
one of us says, yeah, well, and that's gonna be for later. But yeah, anyways, question back to the question
Not
here.
So
me.
I haven't watched a full episode of Yanni Neko. However, Twitter really wants me to see as many clips as possible.
That's because it's good. That's because
Yeah, isn't the opening so good?
Because it's really
I
good.
get that reference.
And yeah, like we've all seen the OP. I mean, I linked it, right? I think Yanni Neko has this is kind of like 2 sides of the same coin, right? Where Yanni Neko looks good, right? Like it's got good animation. It's got a good color palette. It's got very good audio visuals.
Yeah.
And so I think it's an easier pill to swallow to see that like the masses are eating it up. Because like Yanni Neko looks good, but it's shit. right? Like it's just not
Yeah. The
like
inside. Yeah.
like it's just like nothing of value inside. Whereas this one is like it's visually like hard to look at, but I think
Mhm.
the story and like the interior and like what you're getting, especially if you're an isekai fan, like I think it's pretty good, right? So
Mhm.
kind of two sides of the same coin. I think it makes more sense to me, just looking at like the way the masses move. That Yanineko has the rating that it does, than
Right.
this one. But yeah, it's like I think both of them don't. They're not sevens for sure, right?
Yeah. Exactly. All right.
All right,
Well,
my take is, uh, Nia, what was your score again?
4.5.
it was like 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.5.
My score is probably going to be right now. I guess I'll give it an 8. I guess.
Okay.
Oh shit. He's
All right,
hey,
so
you
if you're an
can't
isekai
hey,
fan,
you
there you go.
hey,
Ah,
I'm just saying here, you can't let this go because he just proved that he is a bigger Gohan fan than you are.
that's
I
true.
think you guys
That's
need to fight
true.
this out
That's true.
backyard after
It's
this episode here.
source material I really like. I'm pretty fond of, and like I mentioned earlier, it's very faithful. The actual stuff, the actual
Huh?
series itself, that I know isn't manipulated by Gohans, like the storyboards, whatever. The story plot is all pretty faithful. It's 1-to-1 to the manga, and the manga is also pretty good to look at too. So like the art style is from the manga itself, but the additional stuff from Gohan's is the stuff that I don't like. You've already mentioned it earlier, like I'll keep going over the extra 5 minutes of fights that will appear throughout the entire, like way later into the series, maybe 12 episodes later. The introduction of the main female lead way too early, I guess. Like, oh, well, she's gonna party with her, and look, oh, she's the only girl. Ha ha
I
ha.
think they're doing that just to pull people in
Yeah, pretty
early
much.
on. Like, check out this cute clown girl, right?
Yeah, and then like,
Mhm.
oh, she's only in the ED, and then, like you mentioned earlier, I'm not a fan of this saturation at all and
Yeah.
stuff, and the weird camera angles. But that's a Gohan's thing. That's like, I right now I can't get over it. That's why I'm doc. That's why it's only at an 8.
Only.
But if they course correct and like stick to its guns with this series and not like, oh, here's an extra 5 minutes of like, oh, Sakuga shots or whatnot. I mean, they can have it, but just like don't go overboard because this series is not really about the action itself. It's more about like, oh, here's the game mechanics and how you choose to beat it. That kind of series. This is one of those series. I get maybe it's because it's Gohan's, but this is one of those few instances where less is more, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
would
sure.
say. So that's why my
At some
score is
point,
an 8.
you can only be so much extra. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'll still watch it because I really like this series and the story, but I don't know. Gohan's throwing me off, really. That's why it's an
Yeah.
8 and not a 9.
Mm.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Nier, as well as Toast, for helping to cover this. Again, I don't even know if I want to say unfortunate, but it's another Gohan masterpiece for sure, in some sort of way.
Oh, Near, is this the
But
best Gohan series so far, or what? Where are we rating this?
No, man.
definitely
No.
Marduk Scramble first,
Yeah,
and then
Marduk
K
Scramble is
Project.
like
Marduk Scramble way up there, and then afterwards,
Actually,
like a
yeah.
couple heads down, it's like K
yeah,
Project,
Marduk Scramble is
and
like the
then
one like genuinely really good thing they've ever made. And then it's like Marduk Scramble, um,
where do you think Capellion is on
SYD.
that?
Yeah, it's like
Oh yeah,
Marduk
SYD.
Scramble,
Yes.
SYD, Power Gap, Capellion, huge Power Gap,
The-
K Project, massive Power Gap, everything else. Like
yeah.
basically,
I
that's
can
basically
get
how
down
it
with
is.
that. It's yeah. I have a soft spot in my
I don't
heart
know,
for
man.
K
Yeah, I think
because
SYD is the
it
cream
fits
of the
their
crop.
style, but
Yeah,
My favorite is SYD for sure.
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, anyways, thank you for helping to cover this. I know this was a very interesting pill to swallow in many
Wow, Near,
aspects,
I can't
but
believe you took a bullet from me. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways, this series, a light novel original, adapted into
Technically, it's web manga
and
original. I think the web manga was
Oh,
first,
okay,
and
yeah.
then
Sorry,
the light
sorry.
novel.
Yeah. So yeah. Web novel original. Uh, Adapted by Gohan's. Also, series name is The Exiled Heavy Knight Knows How to Game the System. Tsuihou sareta Tensei Juukishi wa game chishiki de game chishiki de musou suru. Also known as just like Juukishi is the shortened version of it. But if you want to see, I guess, more Gohan's flares in an isekai setting, please do check this out. All right. And with that, we're going to get on to our news. We have a decent amount of news today, so I do want to kind of blast through this. I'll try to group it up as much as possible. First up on the list, we have some katakana kind of thing. Obviously, as all these companies consolidate and have been lasted for years, there's always going to be bad news and like all this kind of crap coming out. What happens is, what is it? Yeah, former katakana chairman Sugihiko Kadokawa announced on Tuesday that he's appealing his guilty verdict in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics bribery. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who are fetuses, a little bit after the Ufotable, I think this was like 1 or 2 years after the Ufotable earthquake charity scandal, right? A couple of years after that, I think there was also another thing where I think, cut the chairman, the former chairman here, and a couple, maybe one other person was involved apparently in a bribery scandal and involving, I think, Kadokawa and I think potentially Sony. It might have been just Kadokawa and or Sony, where they were, because of the Tokyo Olympics, they were coming in and trying to essentially go around and I think do like promotions or something like that, but some illegal stuff related to the committee. But yeah, it was allegedly uses network of contacts at Dentsu, which the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee commissioned to select and handle the sponsors to secure Kadokawa's position, essentially. So they were able to push for Kadokawa a little bit more by using their kind of internal networks, right? So what is it? Kadokawa, I think technically, yes. So he was accused, or sorry, the Tokyo District Court found Kadokawa, the chairman, guilty of bribing a former senior official of the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee on January 22nd and sentenced him to 2 years and 6 months in prison. However, he has maintained his innocence and stated plans to sue the government for his quote unquote unlawful treatment. And like he spoke out against Japan's quote unquote hostage justice system, blah, blah, and also all this stuff. And he's trying to do weird like countersuing things, although the court already found him guilty. So I don't know what's going on there.
Has he considered
But
moving to the United States of America?
yeah. So he's probably trying to like appeal somehow. But yeah. So what is it? His legal counsel claimed the company's internal investigation and results compromised Kadokawa's Tsuguhiko Kadokawa's public perception, which in turn affected his right to a fair trial and presumption of innocence. And so he wants like a retrial or appeal or something like that. But more or less, for those of you who want to know, is the TLDR is the case is more or less open and shut. So yeah, some corruption
I don't know
happened
what
at Kadokawa, and
I don't
they
know
were
what
just complaining.
evidence you could possibly present at this point. That's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's also some, what is it? Kadokawa, the current CEO of Kadokawa, is getting some complaints on the inside by some stakeholders. One of the largest Kadokawa's largest active shareholder. So there's a slightly difference because Oasis Management Company Limited owns 15% or so of Kadokawa's of shares. Technically, I think Samsung and some like the like a master trust bank of Japan technically have more shares than Sony and all the others, but they technically do not act as like major shareholders or like people who are actually allowed to like do them because I think they're more like kind of like almost in like an underwriter kind of leverage situation than anything else. But in terms of like active stakeholders in the companies, apparently Oasis Management Company had wanted to vote out the current CEO, Natsuno Takeshi, because Kadokawa was essentially declining in profitability for years since 2021. So, and then like Kadokawa said that they would like act against this and like not remove him because blah blah. Well, essentially, what it's likely is Natsuno obviously didn't want to go, and he was just like, nah, fuck that shit. But they were like, okay, we can't remove Natsuno without a proper successor or like some sort of plan of action. The TLDR is there's a lot of turmoil going on at Kadokawa, and obviously Kadokawa, despite being one of the major publishers and potentially, I think, are they the largest publisher right now? Are they larger than Shueisha or Shogakukan? I don't know the sizes, but obviously, um, as they've been in turmoil, as they've been sucked up by Sony and stuff like that, they've been facing a market that has undergone some rough changes in digitalization. Obviously, the economy is going down. The economy is struggling globally, but also the anime industry, um, despite all the money that is pouring into it, the arrows are not constantly going up, right? And the arrows also cannot go up forever. And also, Kadokawa only has a piece of that pie and not all of that pie. So, because of that sort of declining profitability, people are complaining because they're like, the arrows are not going up enough. Why is Kadokawa not making the arrows not go up enough? And
There's also the reality that you have to keep in mind of shareholders are fucking retarded. So
yeah.
Even if there was a vote, yeah, it's like the actual company can like, at the end of the day, even if there is a vote for like, oh, the CEO's got to go, like the company itself can just be like, you guys are fucking stupid, like,
yeah.
like just pipe down,
Yeah. And also it's like I think also both Natsuno obviously kind of like shocked by these sorts of like happenings, as well as anybody else that comes after him. I think we're gonna see a potential wave of cuts in the publishing and whatever industry.
sure.
Instead of being like, hey, maybe we should turn our money towards helping artists and maybe trying to find good manga to adapt, right? Or to promote or whatever, right? They're just going to be like, hey, why don't we just add more AI and then like work with more subcontractors in like the Philippines or Malaysia and then cut all of our Japanese offices. I think that's probably the way it's going to go from, the type of news that we've seen all these years. But
Fun fact, did you know
we're
that
hoping
my cool Cinderella Gray figures that I've spent too much money on, these are made in the Philippines. What's happening over there, Side Games?
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Next piece of news here on some of the government front. I want to put out a couple of stuff. First off, South Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, or MCST, convened an international enforcement meeting on June 9th in Seoul to strengthen global cooperation against copyright infringement targeting K content. They brought like a bunch of like Interpol and all Ministry of Justice and all of this crap and obviously Webtoon people. And the meeting focused on sharing enforcement strategies and coordinating joint operations to track and apprehend overseas copyright offenders. But I think the more helpful thing to do is maybe have like better, more globalized products. Just a suggestion.
No.
Maybe it'd be.
We're waiting. We're waiting for the Uma Musume. Also, by global, we don't just mean New York and
Chicago.
California.
Yeah, New York, California.
LA.
Marissa hates Chicago. I guess saying if they're afraid of Chicago, they can go to Rosemont. The Rosemont Theater is right where Anime Central is. It's also like what 2 miles from the airport. If you don't want to hide in Chicago, just saying you can have concerts there.
But yeah, we'll have to see how this pans out. The other government thing I wanted to point out was the Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry (METI) revealed through its IP360 project on Friday, Koei Tecmo's new temporarily titled Fuji game project. The listing describes the project as a quote-unquote action game with oriental visuals. So what this
Wow, it's another
IP360
Dynasty
is,
Warriors. It's
Probably.
another Dynasty.
yeah.
Yeah.
What this is the more important part is the IP360 towards 20 trillion yen. So this initiative is a government grant for select media projects with a goal of increasing overseas sales of Japanese content to 20 trillion yen by 2033. For those of you
Wow.
who don't know what this
Wow.
is
So
probably a
basically
spiritual successor to Cool Japan.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a historical piece because it's rooted in Japanese culture. So it's another Dynasty Warriors.
Well, it's not. It doesn't even have to be historic. They're just interested in selling more Japanese content
Yeah.
overseas. Is what they're saying.
But
And to be
Onimusha
fair-
is gonna do fine.
To be fair, Koei Tecmo has been on quite the rise lately, so
Yeah. But yeah, for instance, other grant recipients include projects by Arc System Works, Konami Digital Entertainment, Square Enix, Sega, Aniplex, Trigger Mappa, and many others. So what I'll say about this, my opinion on this is like, this is not the worst thing that the government could do, right? This is like, there are much worse things that the Japanese government could spend money on. But
Near. Neo 4. Ninja Gaiden.
Wow.
What's the next Ninja Gaiden again?
5.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 5. Yeah, there we go.
yeah. But yeah, one thing two points that I want to make is one, I hope that the money more and more, although I know it won't, goes to the people actually working to create these like mediums, right?
Uh-huh.
And not just like the overhead. But the second thing is we all kind of saw what Cool Japan fizzled out to, right? It's like fucking selling tomatoes at the airport and all that crap stuff like that, right? But I don't know whether this IP360 is going to be any better. And also, obviously, because there's it's government grants they're trying to hand out constantly, I think there's also going to be plenty of
There's
chances
gonna be a lot
where,
of people reaching into that bag for sure.
yeah, in not necessarily in a completely legal way, right? What I'm
Yeah.
saying is there's going to be definitely a lot of corruption. Obviously, we saw this corruption with Garagawa, right? And if there's going to be one Ufotable founder who reaches in for earthquake charity money and steals it, do not think that there is going to be potentially at least a couple of these other suits who are willing to reach into a much more easily justifiable pot or set of grants and be like, oh yeah, we're totally doing this for Japanese sales, bro, and then just take the money and run, right? So I just hope that some of this money goes to protect this stuff, but I'm not confident that it will end up being much better than, again, say Cool Japan or whatever. So we'll have to see. The next part is the part we all love, the best section of the news. It is AI. On the AI front.
Oh, cool.
Not only is Japanese industry, the Japanese Ministry of METI, Economy Trade Industry, not only are they doing IP360, but they're also considering providing subsidies of 11.5 billion yen, which is around 71 million US dollars, to 15 eligible media companies aiming to increase overseas sales. The subsidies is the same? No, I'm not sure. I don't think this actually is the same. Yeah, this is not the same. Okay. So, what is this? 15 eligible media companies aiming to increase overseas sales. The subsidies, yeah. Okay, so these subsidies would aim to encourage the companies to utilize generative AI to translate their works. The subsidies would also
Nice.
facilitate growth and events outside Japan. So, blah blah. And I just want to say, just stop. I don't know what else to say. It's like just stop. And then right after, fucking this third, because for those of you who don't know, Anime News Network is now no longer like a neutral kind of thing. Like they
Yep.
been bought by Kadokawa for quite a while now. I think Kadokawa and Shueisha worked together
Yeah.
and bought it, right? Or something like that. Yeah, they co-own it. But there's this third paragraph in this article here where it's like Japanese media companies incurred piracy-related losses of 5.7 trillion yen in 2025.
Oh
Like, brother.
no. Who gives a fuck, bro?
Yeah, yeah. The Mexican kids stared at an illegal chapter of Naruto somewhere, and immediately these Japanese companies lost 1 trillion yen. So that's how it works, I think. So
It's true.
just letting you guys know about how these calculations work. But yeah, more subsidies for AI, wonderful. And then also, Tokyo-based AI animation company Prince announced on Thursday the second installment of its anime project titled Cyber Chair Detective Charlotte: Dead Man's Hand. So, if you guys want to see the artwork, the extremely creative artwork, I want you give me a second here. If you guys want to look at that, but it's very creative.
Brother. Oh my
I've
god.
never seen this artwork before. Just letting you guys know. But
Oh my god.
but yeah, uh, it's just some random like story, croak, blah blah blah. It's like essentially like humans and robots kind of thing, but it's like with AI and humans. But yeah, it's a mystery. All of the like graphics and stuff are probably like AI. It looks exactly like all the other AI anime pictures.
So cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. And then the third piece of news here. Uh, the city of Icheon in Gyeonggi Province, Korea, announced on Tuesday that it has launched an AI-generated webtoon contest centered on Sehui. Sohee? Yeah, Sohee, I think. Yeah, Sohee, yeah. The renowned Goryeo-era diplomat, celebrated for his diplomatic achievements, which they would not sully his name like this. The competition invites participants to create original webtoons depicting how Sohee's wisdom and diplomatic insight could resolve modern-day conflicts. Participants must submit a completed webtoon of no more than 20 panels created using generative AI. Total of 12 winners will receive each a mayor's award. Blah, blah. But yeah, Gyeonggi Province previously hosted the Korea AI Content Awards last September, which included new awards for webtoons and music. So
That's
great
cool.
to see. Everybody loves it.
We love that, yeah.
And then, yeah. And then a couple of other like business news. AI localization company Orange Inc., not to be confused with Orange Studio, announced on Tuesday that it's launching a monthly subscription service called Imaki Premium for its ebook service Imaki. Lovely. We've never seen this before. Surely nothing bad will come of this. The subscription costs $7 or $7 also, or 10 Canadian dollars monthly, and launches on the app on the same day. Yeah. All right. And then, what is it? Kungao, founder and former CEO of Crunchyroll, has launched the AniBiz platform through his anime-focused media company, Nakama. The platform went live on Thursday and is described as the first dedicated B2B marketplace built specifically for the global anime industry, connecting anime IP rights and holders / decision makers, including studios, with qualified licensees such as, for those of you who don't know and don't really care about this as well as, like, you guys shouldn't care about this really, but essentially what it is, the TLDR is, AniBiz, the guy, or Kungao, and his company is trying to work as sort of an integrator. So what happens is, and this is a little bit more common in like the contracting industry, where you have like a project and you have like multiple steps and like multiple companies kind of working together, right? Like you maybe have like a company who has this technology and then another company who needs to use this technology to make like a project work or a project run, right? But like in the middle, there are like middlemen trying to like connect the people together or like get like subject matter experts in on this or like people who are essentially kind of massaging all of this to make the project run smoother, to make the timeline run smoother, right? Um, Most of the time, like the actual timeline smoothing doesn't really happen that much. It like the timeline isn't that smooth. It's just like a bunch of money just being thrown at
more companies, right? I know this because I work with and in some of these companies, but essentially that's what this guy's trying to do. Kunga is trying to skim more money off the anime industry, which will forever have arrow going up on the stock market because that's just how industries work. They never go down. But while the money is going up, he is trying to skim some of the money off the top and suck it in by acting as a quote unquote integrator. So that's essentially what this company is. So hopefully he gets even more money because I'm sure that the artists don't need it. What is this? I'm just gonna go over very quickly. This is just like the last couple of pieces of news. Some more interesting like anime like announcement kind of stuff because some of this is some interesting stuff has come out in the last month. First, last three news is as follows. First off, Sunrise and Shaft have teased their new like collaboration anime. I believe. I think more information has come out all over this, right?
Yeah,
If I'm
it
correctly,
was
does anybody have this?
so it was like an adaptation for something, which I thought
Yeah,
was
yeah.
weird because you'd think if they're like doing a full night is what they were doing.
Mhm.
But I like because I saw the teaser and I was like, oh, like Sunrise and Shaft are teaming up. You'd think it would be like an original, you know what I mean? Like a creative, creatives kind of collabing to make something new.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just
exactly.
they're just adapting Full Night, which is like cool, I guess. But it's like
Yeah,
okay.
I think almost what happened is um like because this year is I believe Sunrise 50th anniversary, so they're like
Wow.
doing all this shit, right? But they didn't. I don't think they really had like a full like we're doing all of this sort of stuff, right? Or like I'm not sure if they have a full like budget or like capacity is almost what
Yeah.
I would say, right? To be like we're gonna create a full like original series and this is gonna be a full media project, like all this sort of stuff. So they're like, we're just gonna create an adaptation. Hey, Cap, you wanna collab with us because your Shaft and you haven't exactly been on the up and up necessarily. But this is also our 50th anniversary, so we can get some eyeballs on this thing. And Shaft
Yeah.
was probably like, yeah, sure, why not? I think that's probably what happened. But well, I mean, at the end of the day, it is still very notable names in the industry, so we'll see how it goes. And then what is it? I'm gonna say the best for last here. DC Studios and Warner Bros. Animation announced during their panel at Annecy International Animated Film Festival on Thursday the Joker Laugh Riot anime. I believe Aoki Yasuhiro, who's did some like Batman, Gotham Knight stuff, and so on, is directing the anime at Solo Entertainment, who did the studio behind The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. And so I think it's interesting because they're probably working off of like the positive reception that they've gotten recently from some stuff like Suicide Squad Isekai, right? Which I think near you covered, right?
Yeah.
Um, so they're probably working off of that, and obviously, similar to what Star Wars Visions is. They're kind of motivated by that to create more of these like anime adaptations as like the next like big vehicle for both new audiences and like as kind of like a new kind of side vehicle to make money, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. It might be interesting. I think they've got some decent people here, but we'll see how it goes. And then the last piece of news we have is probably the best one, right? uh,
Depending
the
on
official
how you
website.
look at it. Yeah.
Yes, the official website for the Naruto franchise announced on Friday that the Lionsgate live-action film adaptation of Kishimoto Masashi's Naruto manga has become a global casting search for the main characters Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, with casting for other characters to come at a later date. So we need to put up bets. We need to put up bets right now on who is going to be Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, and maybe some of the other characters. This is very important. Okay. He said Destin Daniel Cretton, Shang-Chi, who did
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is directing the film.
That's fucking crazy, man.
And Tasha Ho, who did like Red Sonja, Tomb Raider anime series, was working on the script for Lionsgate's live action Naruto movie. So it's
Wait, didn't the director, isn't that the
it'll be
same one as
interesting.
the new Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, but definitely, I think it'll probably be at least a couple more years in the making, right? If
For
not,
sure.
if
Yeah.
not more,
Yeah.
potentially like up to 5 years.
Yeah,
But
this is like pre-production type stuff.
yeah, especially
Basically
if
just
they're
that it's been
literally just
greenlit. Yeah.
announcing casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see how it goes. But I hope that it doesn't
It's got to be Tom Holland,
bomb.
bro. It's got to be Tom Holland.
We're gonna have we're gonna have Timothy Chalamet as Sasuke. Tom Holland.
Dude, yes,
Yes,
bro. With the buzz cut too. I think that'd be heat.
Oh my
I think
god,
that'd be heat.
I could just look at it. I could just vision it. Oh my god. Oh my god. And we're gonna have like we're gonna have like we're gonna have like fucking like Zendaya as like Sakura. And it's gonna be color
Yeah,
Sakura. And he's
bro,
gonna get like a
Robert
billion
Pattinson's gonna
costume
be
he's talking
Kara.
about. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
yes, with
We're
no
gonna,
No,
eyebrows.
no,
Holy
Yup,
fuck. That's
yup.
no, no.
You're gonna have him in like the eye black, like from
And he's
fucking
gonna have
the
he's gonna
Batman.
oh my
he's gonna be
god,
doing like the
man.
dumbest, most high pitched voice. Like
Gara's gonna be the Filipino guy that
Who's gonna be Kakashi?
we were Tobey Maguire.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's gotta be
Tom
Toby. It's
Maguire.
gotta be Toby for sure.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Or Oscar Isaac. I think Oscar Isaac could do it.
Ooh.
my
Okay.
god.
Yeah.
This is gonna suck, man.
Jake
This is
Gyllenhaal.
gonna be so shit. Like it's gonna be so
Jake-
bad.
Jake
Like the
Gyllenhaal as
only way that they can pull this off is if it's like it just like doesn't even remotely resemble Naruto at all. You know what I mean?
Naruto.
Like it's just like if they just turn it into like a general like a ninja movie. You know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with like
You mean like Dragon Ball Evolution there? Is that where we're going?
unironically, yes.
I think okay. I think the
Like
difference is also
like Dragon Ball Evolution,
like-
but like not a fucking dog shit movie.
like the issue is it's like let's say we have like a good suit and it doesn't end up being like some weird like fucking Cowboy Bebop shit, right? Like like that's like a more like an obvious failure aside. The thing with One Piece is that One Piece was a lot more. One Piece is a lot more generic. And what I mean by generic is that Naruto is very Japan code, and I don't mean just necessarily like the ninja part of it. I mean just like the general like I want to say like the structure and the mannerisms and like that sort of like
Yeah.
pacing, right? And like the arc pacing as well and so on. So I think it might be a little bit more difficult to have a global setup for that unless they're pretty much just like I don't know, man. I just don't know how it's gonna end. I can't really vision it in my mind what it's gonna be. It's gonna be very interesting. Um to put it charitably.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's it for the news. And we are going to go into our shout outs and call outs. Everybody here gets one shout out and one call out each. Shout out is something that you want to praise, 5 out of 5 stars. And can be any one person, place, or thing. And call out is the exact opposite, 0 out of 5 stars. You want something that you want to rant about, rage about, and it can be any one person, place, or thing. Starting with Toast. Shout out, call it, please.
I don't know. I'm gonna shout out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they got him.
They got me.
He's dead.
I don't know. I'm gonna shout out. What's it called? Man, I'm gonna shout out. I don't know. Yeah.
Nothing good.
Was it good?
I'm gonna shout out Gold City. Thanks for
Alright.
saving my
Okay.
wallet because I was definitely going to go broke. I was gonna
Especially
go.
after the buffs.
What bus? What are you talking about?
Gold
I
City got
I said Gold City or bust, and I was going to. I was going to get them all.
oh, okay.
So thanks for stopping at 4 instead of me having to. I mean, would I wanted an Ogre or Tamamo? Maybe. A Belno? Sure. Which March? Yeah. I said Gold City or bust. I don't know. It's the small things in life, you know.
True.
My call out is the same as it's going to be forevermore. You know what you did. I can't forgive you.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Nier, shout out call, please.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you're
shout
gonna
out.
shout out the Canada-US bridge.
No, no, no.
Why not?
Probably because that shit's fucking retarded. As is most things between our two nations recently. But you know, I'm gonna shout out Ghost in the Shell. I think that first episode was pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay.
I like the guest arts near.
It's
Yo,
pretty cool.
Shinkawa's is pretty good. Well, who's the other one?
I don't remember. But yeah.
'Cause that was also good.
Yeah. As for my call out, I think I'll keep it in the same vein, and I'll call out the people that are being really annoying about Ghost in the Shell and trying to
She has
like
Oh, what did
blue
it say
hair,
now?
Nier. She has
they're trying to
blue hair.
they're trying to pit the new series against the original movie, and to be like which version of Motoko is better, and it's like, well,
I mean, it's the same thing as Trigun, right? At the end of the day.
yeah, it's like they're the same character, man. They're just like two
Near,
interpretations of the same character. Like,
he doesn't have his cool hair, and
oh wow,
he's not called Needle Noggin anymore. Why?
But yeah, it's just like the people that are like being really annoying. There's also been a really annoying kind of revisionism that I've seen about the original 95 movie where people are like, yeah, actually it's not good. It's not good actually. It's actually it's paced terribly and it's boring. It's like, shut up, man. Like this shit is fucking peak, okay? Um
Sure.
just because it's different from the
I mean,
manga
I
or
think it's
whatever.
pretty good. No, isn't it? This is
Yeah.
the closest adaptation to the manga that we get so
Yeah, of
far.
course. And it's like that's cool, but it's not like that is somehow now retroactively like devaluing the adaptations of Ghost in the Shell we got before. Like the original 95 movie and even the sequel, I will fucking go to bat for that movie, the second movie. And Standalone Complex, like they're considered classics for a fucking reason. It's because they're fucking good. But yeah, it's just like there's just been this very annoying discourse of like, this one's better than the others. It's like, who cares? They're all good. They're all
I
good, man.
care,
You can
Near.
watch. You can watch all of them, man.
What happened to my freaky CG opening from Standalone Complex, Near?
We're
Why
not in
isn't
that
it the?
era anymore, bro.
Oh,
If they did that, bro, if they did that nowadays, could you imagine like the fucking
Near. What if it was an AI
comments
opening?
people would... I don't even want to think about that. Okay. But like, yeah, if they did like a CG opening nowadays, could you imagine people just being like, "Oh my god, they're doing CG. This is so budget." It's like, fuck you, man.
So can I add something? So your favorite version of Motoko Kusanagi, right?
Yeah.
Is the one portrayed by Scarlett Johansson, right? So I think
True.
we
That's
got
true.
just to get this clear.
That's true.
In the 2017 live action version of Ghost in the Shell, right?
Yeah, it's like that is like the only like bad version of Ghost in the Shell out there. You know what I mean? Like even Arise,
Yeah.
as well, I forgot about the Netflix series. I didn't watch that. But I heard it was pretty bad. But like even Arise, like it has its, it has its faults, obviously, but I think it's perfectly watchable.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just like this dumb the mentality of the like, you know, oh, I'm watching this now currently, so that means it's better than the thing I watched before. It's like, no, they're all good. You're allowed to enjoy multiple things at once. It doesn't need to be a competition. It's like this weird, I don't know if it's like a shonen thing maybe. Like the thing that's just shonen fans kind of
I think it's
have
also I think it's
ingrained in their
also gonna
brain, where it's like if they're currently watching something, it needs to be better than other thing.
yeah, it needs to be justified by whatever, or if
Yeah,
they're not
it's like
watching
this.
something, it
It's like
needs
the
to be like
dumb.
there needs to be a reason why. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the dumb like rivalry that like Bleach fans generate, like out of their own fucking schizophrenic consciousness with whatever is currently airing. It's just like,
Or like Naruto versus Bleach, or like
It's
yeah.
Orihime versus
it's not
whatever.
Bleach.
Oh,
It's Jujutsu Kaisen now.
yeah.
Remember, it's Jujutsu Kaisen now.
Well, I mean, the Jujutsu Kaisen fans do the same thing, but I think the Bleach fans, like when Bleach came back, right, with the new season, the new seasons,
They've been pretty
right?
quiet on my end.
Um,
It's mostly like, oh, the
well,
Jujutsu
I've
Kaisen
been
and the
seeing them make a
Chainsaw
lot of
Man.
noise.
Huh.
They're the ones that are like, I mean, obviously it's on all sides, right? But it's like I've seen them, like just randomly out of the blue be like, "Wow, this Bleach sequence is so much cooler than anything Jujutsu Kaisen puts out." And it's like, brother, you can watch two things and like them both. It's just like it's
Yeah,
such a
yeah,
bizarre.
No, near Bleach is the original Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, so true, man.
yeah.
I saw it, bro.
man.
I saw that shit happening when fucking um Fate fans were getting all up in a tizzy about fucking uh
Kimetsu no Yaiba?
like domain expansions being like an obvious
Reality?
like obviously inspired by reality marbles. And fucking Fate fans got all up in the fucking a tizzy because Jujutsu Kaisen fans didn't know what a reality marble was. And it's like, bro, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Near,
they
but
haven't seen it. They don't know. Like, you don't need
near,
to
it's
get
not a
upset about
near.
it.
It's
Like,
not a reality marble because those are rare. Those are bankais. Near
it's so true. So true.
bankais.
Yeah.
Also, stand powers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just such a whack ass mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
because
Especially, I think
bankais
it's also gonna
became
get worse.
bankais became these. They used to be like, oh, it's a power up. My sword became a different sword. No, now it's just bullshit esoteric power ups, and it's like, oh, it's definitely a Bleach reference now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also going to get worse as more and more remakes come in. It's not going to get better, in my opinion, because it's like eventually we're just going to make the gamut. We're going to run the gamut with like all these different remakes, and then people are going to be constantly arguing, right?
Speaking of Bleach, Thousand Year Blood Wars are back on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, thank you very much, Near. What about you, Dark? Shout out call, please.
I'm gonna shout out Warframe Showcase from today. They showed off some pretty cool stuff, including the next solar system. Gonna have some cyberpunk / noir / like Geiger type vibes to it, which is interesting. And the next Warframe
Geiger
or the Warframe,
Geiger or Guyver?
Geiger. Yeah, it's very organic, weird, Metropolis type stuff. And the next Warframe in it is a like detective Warframe voiced with an internal monologue voiced by Matt Mercer. So that shit seems pretty cool.
Hold on. You said detective? Are we talking a Twin Peaks level detective or something else?
He's more so like a investigator / like mercenary assassin kind of guy. He gets a cool revolver. Throws cards at people. So he's kind of like Gambit too.
I don't know. Did I say Twin Peaks? I meant Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition. Remember?
That's basically the same
Zach?
thing when you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit looked very cool. And yeah, I think my call out's just gonna be to back issues. That shit
Yeah.
annoying.
and Dark has been having some unfortunate issues recently. Hopefully, it doesn't it doesn't flare back up again. And the problem he had recently has a quick recovery. Hopefully, nothing too bad. Thank you very much, Dark. Shout out call out from me on this end is shout out actually to the rain here because I guess without it, we'd be just having back to back to back. We'd essentially be in like a France situation over here in Korea. We'd just be dying, and then everybody would be running out to put like smash their air conditioners over their heads and stuff like that. So at least the rain, even though it's annoying to have it all day, is still better than the heat. So the rain, and then my call out is to this is a slight generalization of like the Gohan's discussion and stuff like that, but it's very like the whole like ignorant anime community stuff is one thing, but I think it's very unfortunate to look at literally anything and be like, wow, you can't really criticize it because that's part of their creativity. You know what I mean? It's like, no, just because like if somebody puts streaks poop all over your wall, you can't be like, wow, that's unique, that's creative. Like, you can't criticize that, right? Like, at some point, you have to be like, that's not that good. Or, like, that's definitely, at least, at the very least, that's not like a masterpiece of any sort, right? You can't call that like a really good piece of art. So I think we need to accept, much like how, not everybody is a model or looks like, the hottest guy on earth, right? There are a lot of people that are average and a lot of people that unfortunately are not blessed with the best looks. That some things, and I'm by some things I mean Gohans, right, are not necessarily blessed by having a masterpiece in terms of like looking like the best thing on earth, and also sometimes they look bad. And we just need to accept this. So not everything is some sort of creative masterpiece that somehow people don't understand. Okay. It's just some things are allowed to be bad. But that's pretty much the call out. And with that, we are going to wrap up the first impressions, I think, for this episode. We're going to have 4 more after this, covering the summer 2026 season. Again, as you guys heard from our summer 2026 preview, we have a lot of exciting series to cover. Pretty much something for everybody in this season. So watch out for that. And if you like what we do, we stream our live recording of our podcast every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast, where we cover the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, light novels, web novels, visual novels, manga, and so much more. And we have our live recording of our podcast here, as well as highlights and other stuff on our YouTube. So whichever format you desire, we have updates and news on our podcast, on our social media pages, Facebook at 4PlayerAnimecast, Twitter at 4PPAnimecast, and Blue Sky at 4PlayAnimecast, all with the numeral 4. So check us out here, check us out there, and as always, we'll see you next time.